Hey everybody, happy Monday. I hope you guys are having a great day. It's your girl, the Brooke Ashley, and today we are here to discuss The Real Housewives of Atlanta, season 17, episode 10. And before we start, I do want to say, despite the nonsense from certain people, this is a really great season. The girls are eating. I have to admit, this is feeling like the older seasons all over again because I am thoroughly enjoying. I mean, we have not had a bad episode yet. They are, I mean, Andy, I got to give you your props. When you're right, you're right. But when I talked to you at the Rhode Island premiere and you said that we were in for a treat this season, you meant that because this season so far has been phenomenal. Chef's kiss, all gas, no breaks. I'm here for it. Like, I'm really enjoying myself. It's fun. And somebody please give Cynthia a raise in salary because for a friend of, she is carrying this season. Like, Cynthia, I know I was kind of on the fence about you coming back this season. I didn't think you did a whole lot last season, but this season you are eating. The looks are eating. The confessionals are eating. Everything is eating. You facilitating, the mess, leading the storylines, going back and being everybody's friend, getting into the drama. I'm here for it. I am here for it. Yes. No, it's not in a messy way. I agree. Yes, Cynthia is eating and she looks great. That confessional look, the newest confessional look with that bronze gown and the pull back, the sleek pullback, she looks phenomenal. Yes, they don't feel forced at all. Yes, honey, that shade about Peter being in women's business when she said, well, we know how that goes, how it never fares well when a man is in women's business. Just flawless. Cynthia, you might as well be back as a full-time. If I'm being honest, I would not be mad if they bumped Cynthia back up to full-time status and either demoted or fired Kelly and Shamea. If I'm being really honest with you, I don't mind having Cynthia back because Cynthia is really doing her big one. I'm here for it. Hey, cool nerd. Thank you for the super chat. Brooke, I apologize in advance for my Drew wax. LOL. Oh, I'm screaming. I'm gonna tell you I'm gonna tell you right now though. I don't know how you can whack Drew in this episode when she was right. I mean, she didn't do anything wrong. So I don't want you. If you get jumped in the chat, that's on you. I'm just letting you know. A disclaimer, because you might get jumped in the chat because in my opinion, I just don't know how you could whack Drew today in this episode. She did nothing wrong when it came to her and Pinky, her and K. Michelle, and Shamea. They were in the wrong, all three of them. Drew was not wrong in this episode. She was right for this episode and she sounded good. Okay, yeah. So you might have to take a break from the wax on Drew today. Hey, Dark Child 99, thank you for the super chat. I didn't find the last scene of K. Michelle and Shamea singing whatsoever funny. It wasn't funny. It was so lame. It was whack. It was rude. It felt so sinister and evil. Like this woman just sang the national anthem, and for y'all to sit up there and try to embarrass her and humiliate her, they both look so dumb. Shamea's attempt at comedy 24/7 is abysmal. It is. It's very corny. She's trying way too hard. Drew maturely drinking that lemon. Yep, the lemon drop is unbothered silence, symbolized her growth in season 13. I agree. It was very much whack. They look so foolish. They look so foolish and bothered and just nasty work. But y'all, let's get into this episode because I have a lot to say. Now, for all of y'all who follow me on Twitter, y'all saw how Andy dropped that the reunion is filming in 2 weeks. And he said, if you have any questions for the reunion, drop them now. Did y'all see that I was going in? I was, okay, I have so many questions for K. Michelle. I asked K. Michelle, how did your husband react to you telling the whole world on Shannon Sharp's show that you allow him to sleep with other women and you don't mind him cheating? How did he feel with the world knowing that now? Andy, I need you to ask the questions, please. It's bad enough that you filmed the reunion so far out in advance anyway, but please ask the questions that we sent to you, please, because we sent some really, really good questions. Oh, honey, I was going in on the questions. Oh, yeah, you saw me, honey. When I tell you, I was like, I am so tired of K. Michelle and her antics. So y'all, please pray that we get the questions read and answered. Hey, Gerald Rogers, thank you for the super chat. At this point, they might as well let Cynthia host a reunion. Andy can sit this one out this year. I agree. She's doing a great job. Hey, Jacob, thank you for the super chat. Did you see Kelly got her teeth done as part of an ad for the dentist? Jarvis didn't pay for those teeth. So, first of all, yes, the girls on Reddit and on Twitter and on Threads were saying that they saw Kelly at the airport and she had a T-shirt on advertising the dentistry that did her teeth. So this whole thing was a complete lie about Jarvis paying for those teeth. She got them done for free advertisement and free promo. How embarrassing. And also, Kelly, the story doesn't make any sense because 1 minute is I went back. Thank you. Shout out to y'all because one of y'all made a great point. You said, so Kelly said that she met him at a Hawks game, but now Shamea is saying that she introduced them. Which one is it? And I went back to make sure that, I didn't miss anything. And yeah, that scene when you're with your mother and your grandma at Nana's Chicken and Waffles, you do say in your confessional that you met him at a Hawks game and you didn't want to talk to him. He wasn't your type. And now all of a sudden you have Shamea saying, you think I would introduce my friend to a brokey? So yeah, you guys are both lying. Yeah, I'm not believing this whole thing because also it goes back to my first point. If you're dating a man who is going to give you $70,000 for your teeth to be redone, don't you think that he would give you some money to help with those bills? You would not be having to file for bankruptcy because a generous man's going to make sure that you don't flounder and you don't flop financially, right? So it wasn't making sense to me that he would spend all that money on her teeth, but then she is crying about bills and credit cards being backed up, the car's about to be repossessed, the house is going into foreclosure. It wasn't adding up. None of this makes any sense. None of this makes any sense. Hey, Miss Lee Carter, thank you for the super chat. Last night was the Drew and Cynthia show. 10s, yes, they ate down. 10s across the board. They did their biggest ones, honey. Listen, bring Cynthia back up to full time. You said, does Kelly ever talk to her type? Was her type her ex-husband? Can we talk about that? Because surely that man looking like that in that ill-fitting suit on their wedding day was not her type either. A mess. Can't even lie right. Shaking my head. No, they can't lie right. None of this adds up. Hey, High Vibe. Thank you for the super chat. The anthem was sung in the live celebration. Just gross to disrespect her performance. I agree. It was so disrespectful. It just felt so evil to me. I was so put off, so perturbed by that. Like, why would you do that? Just very nasty. But y'all, let's get into this recap. I have so many thoughts, so many things to say because we got to talk. So we open up this episode with Pinky. She's in an office building. I don't know, an office park. I don't know where Pinky was, but she's having this meeting. She's with her team talking about a new show called Edgewood. So this show is about to be about her life, I guess. Now, can somebody raise their hands in the chat? Do we care about Pinky's life or we need to see a show on it? Like, let me know in the comments. Do we care about Pinky Cole's life story where we want to see a whole limited series about her life? Let me know. I didn't know much about her until she came on this show, if I'm being honest with you. Okay, you said none at all. I don't like Pinky. Sorry. Okay, so we do not care. No, ma'am. Somewhere in Sugarloaf. Who cares about Pinky that deeply? I was so confused. Wait, you... Not even Tubi, honey. You have me screaming. Oh, Pluto original. Oh my gosh. You said if I'm on a plane, you guys better stop it. If it's a good story, I'd watch. I really don't care about her story. Pinky can be demoted. Oh gosh, you guys are so funny. You said go to Zeus, honey. So we have Naturi. Now, shout out to Naturi. She was in 3LW. She played Tasha on Power, if you watch Power. And her and Pinky are friends, right? And she wants Naturi to play Pinky. Naturi says that we get that all the time, that we look alike. I was staring hard at my TV. I didn't see the resemblance between Naturi and Pinky. Maybe I can't see right. Let me know. But she wants Naturi to play her because they look alike, right? Yeah, Naturi looks so good. She looks great. Well, that's what they said. Yeah, okay, so we don't see it either. Yeah, okay, I don't see it. Yeah, you said who said that? No resemblance at all. Child wear, whatever that means. I'm just no, I'm not trying to be funny, but I just I don't see the resemblance between Naturi Naughton and Pinky Cole. That's I had to make sure that I wasn't the only one who okay, so we all see it together. Okay. Drew's confused face would be perfect here. So wait, y'all have me screaming. Y'all, you guys are so silly, okay? Maybe if you squeeze your eyes really tight. I said no to not seeing it. They don't see it either. Okay, y'all. Well, we're all on the same page. Maybe cousins. Yeah, maybe cousins. Maybe cousins. But I don't see. Okay, let's move on. Let's move on. So anyhow, congratulations, happy birthday. You guys, everybody, please. So now she says, you guys know what I've been through these last few months. It's been the ghetto. I feel like it's been become a cautionary tale. Everybody sees the highlight reels, but nobody sees when it's dark out at night and it's just you and your pillow. I mean, Pinky, you do have a whole husband, so you shouldn't be alone in the bed, which is you and your pillow, but okay. And your husband is willing to help you, give you the money to pay off these debts. So I just don't understand why you feel the need to take this on by yourself when you are in a marriage, but okay. So Pinky says, a lot of folks don't know that before I was a restaurateur, I was a TV producer. I was a casting director for Iyanla Fix My Life and a producer on The Maury Show. Now, Pinky, the fact that you were a producer on Iyanla Fix My Life, I said, girl, we need to talk because I have so many thoughts, questions, and comments about the Iyanla Fix My Life show. That was some grade A foolery, but that was some great TV because there were nights where I would go and watch those reruns for a good laugh because it was nothing but nonsense. Oh my gosh. But let's just move on. Let's just move on, honey. Yes, honey, that man with the 34 kids and the 17 baby mamas was horrible. So anyhow, Naturi says, thank you for saying, Naturi's honored to be playing Pinky. We already went through this a few minutes ago. I don't see the resemblance between them, but okay. So now she says, we've already done the script and the pilot episode, and she's asking her producer what the budget is. The producer says, we're in the 80s right now, but we could shave some more off. So Pinky says, well, I'm fine with the budget being at the 40,000 range. I'm self-funding this. Now, this might be out of my wheelhouse. I don't claim to know everything, but I know a little something to know that 40,000 is not doing much. How much is Naturi making if the budget is only 40,000? So she's making what, 5,000, like $40,000? And you're such a boss bitch in your words. And girl, you have millions on millions. You were trying to shade Angela 5 episodes ago. So we're going from that to a measly 40,000 for a big budget production. Naturi must be getting paid in gas cards. Naturi's doing this for free, honey. She's volunteering. I really want to know how much is Naturi getting paid. Now, a quick side note, I know this is not a part of the show, but did you feel, I wonder if anybody caught how Naturi's husband was in the meeting as well. And when it said Naturi's husband / manager, my heart started beating out of his chest like real fast. Because y'all know how I feel about women making these men their managers. Naturi, God bless. What was this man doing prior to him getting married to you? What was it? Please let me know. But my heart, when I tell you, I was like, red flag, red flag. He's her manager. She's not making that 40,000 back either. I said, God bless. Girl, I screamed at Tori, no, honey, Mary J. Blige. I dropped to my knees. Listen, honey, I was like, girl, she's been through so much. She has been. I think he was already a producer. Aren't they all, though? So was Sherry Shepherd's husband. He was a producer slash screenwriter, aka unemployed. His biggest lick yet was marrying Sherry Shepherd. They all are producers, some abstract term, which means AKA unemployed. They have no credits, no IMDb page, haven't produced movie or a TV show to first, but yeah, I'm a producer, which means, yeah, baby, let me ride on your coattails and get this money off of you. A mess. A hot mess. She's getting paid 50 cents in royalties. Look at Wendy Williams. Exactly. So is Latasha Scott's husband. Yep, producer of nothing. Exactly. Another businessman, honey. Another businessman. Hey, cool nerd. Thank you for the super chat. Her husband was a talent manager. He managed Ghost. Black women must do better. It's effing disappointing. I agree. Yes, everybody is a producer. Can you produce a W-2? Thank you. Exactly. A 1099, a W-2, something, honey. Nothing. Producing Instagram reels and YouTube shorts. Producing empty briefcases. I just saw a picture. Let me keep my mouth shut. Listen, honey, a mess. Another empty briefcase, honey. Produce your wallet. Exactly. It says angel investment entrepreneur. Okay. Oh, listen, I'm tired. I'm so tired. I truly am. Like Kelly's grandma said, does he have a W-2? Exactly. Oh my gosh. The man has 2 Grammys. Congratulations. Happy birthday. I said what I said. Honey, there are people with Grammys and not bringing in any money. God bless. God bless. That's all I have to say. God bless. So, yeah, honey, she likes it. I love it. Exactly. Yes, honey. You say, yeah. Thank you. I'm going to, friend. Let me just move on before the Warriors come out, honey. Grammys don't pay bills. Okay. All right. Let's move on. A Grammy is an award, not a check. Exactly. So anyhow, she says that she's self-funding this. Entrepreneurship is not a straight line. Her bankruptcy is personal. Personal liability is different from business liability. So filing for the bankruptcy has nothing to do with her businesses. She's still good. God bless and Godspeed. And that's all I've got. So now we see Drew and Angela pull up to Cynthia's house, the famous Lake Bailey. I will say, I don't think we talk about Cynthia's house enough. Cynthia has a beautiful home. Like, she did a great job when she bought Lake Bailey. I mean, it really is beautiful, that view of the lake. Cynthia, your home is really pretty. And we don't give you your propers enough for it. Now, Drew and Angela, I will say, now, cool nerd, feel free to whack Drew on this because I'm going to whack her right now. Drew and Angela, y'all both get zeros for coming to Cynthia's home empty-handed. Not a bottle of wine, no champagne, not a flower, not a biscuit, nothing, not even a soda. I thought that was a chop. I was like, I can't believe that y'all pull up empty-handed like that. I was really surprised about that. So now we meet LaPrince, Cynthia's boyfriend, in the flesh. We've seen him on FaceTime. We've seen pictures of them out and about on the blogs, but never on the show. So they've been dating for 2 years. She says what they love about their relationship is when he's gone, but when he's back, he's back. So now we see Portia pull up. Portia brought something. She had a bag from Whole Foods. I will say Portia will never come anywhere empty-handed. So now Portia says that she meets LaPrince, and Portia says Cynthia is so happy and glowing. I've never seen all of Cynthia's teeth like this. So now they're asking if Cynthia and LaPrince are in love, and Prince says, yeah, that they're in love, right? So now Cynthia says, I'm not surprised that he loves me. I'm just surprised that he said it in front of the other ladies. So now Prince leaves out the room to give them their space. He's speaking to them in Dutch. And Cynthia throws a shade and she says, I love that Prince knows how to read the room because it never works out when we have men and women's business. That was a direct shot to Peter because Peter was always in somebody's business. Oh, a Portia had Wingstop? Oh, okay. I thought it looked like Wingstop. Okay, I'm sorry. I said it was Whole Foods. Okay, well, Wingstop, Whole Foods, Buffalo Wild Wings. She did not come empty-handed. Thank God. You said I love Wingstop. Y'all have me screaming. So you said yeah, Wingstop tastes good. Shout out to Popeyes, honey. Angela of all women coming in empty-handed, shaking my head. Yeah, no, I was surprised about that because Angela, you know better than that. So now they all sit down on the couch to eat. Cynthia had a really nice spread laid out for them. I love that. Cynthia's going to always have some good food. So Portia says, it's been a while since we had a relaxed time with each other. Cynthia says, I love it. So now, as they're talking, Phaedra comes in. Now, Miss Phaedra, let me just whack you real quick. Because for you to be the self-proclaimed Southern belle who's all about manners, babe, I know that you and Cynthia have been friends for a long time. I know you've gone to her house a lot of times, but for you to come empty-handed, I was surprised about that. Phaedra, I was really surprised. I was kind of put off by that. I said, girl, not a pie, not a bottle of wine, she walked right in, honey, with her wig in distress. Oh, she didn't bring anything either. I was so shocked. I was shocked that Phaedra came empty-handed. Phaedra, I don't know what happened. I don't know why you did that, but girl, a mess. So now they sit down to gossip, and Phaedra makes a joke, and she says, if Drew is here before me, then I know I'm extra late. The party probably started yesterday, because we know that Drew is always like 5 hours late to everything. So Cynthia says, just so y'all know, the other day, me and Pinky got K. Michelle and Portia together for lunch, and it went extremely well, I'm proud to say. So now Portia says, long story short, we agreed that we're going to talk to each other instead of other people. So Portia says, but then we started talking about the big elephant in the room that she's created about who's setting her up. I asked her, who told you that? Because you've had many issues with the people in this group because of what somebody told you. So Angela says, my discernment is telling me that it's Shamea. I wanted to speak to her and tell her why I felt that way. So Cynthia's like, well, did you have a chance to talk to Shamea? And Angela says, yes, actually, the other day we met up at a restaurant, but baby, she came in on Destination Hell. Angela says, she talked about my home isn't right while her home is in hell. She says, my husband saw your ass outside a few times that he was outside. He called me up and said that he sees you outside. So as they're talking about Shamea, Portia gets up to use the restroom. She says, look, that's my ex-best friend. I don't want to give a cough, a facial expression, a head nod, nothing. I want no parts of this. Portia did the right thing because one thing about it, silence can never be misquoted. She was smart to say that, let me get up from here. Because if I sit here and listen to this conversation, they're going to say, Angela's going to run back and say that I was saying extra stuff and I didn't say anything. She was smart to do that. That was a wise decision. Very wise. So Angela goes on to say, why the hell are you working with the Hawks? Free that job up, but oh, you're effing the Hawks players and the Falcons players. So now Drew's like, girl. So now Phaedra's like, oh my gosh. Cynthia's like, a mess. The producer goes on to ask Angela, do you really believe that she's sleeping with the Hawks and Falcons players? So Angela says, this girl is married. I don't want to do that, but I do believe it. So the producer's like, do you have proof of this? Angela starts stuttering. Angela says, well, I believe the person who said it. So now the producer's like, well, who is this person that told you this? Angela says, I'm not going to say it. Maybe it's a thing of the past, but it did happen. So Angela, just a few quick things here. I enjoy you on the show, first of all, right? But one of my issues with you is that you will throw out shade, throw out a bomb, but then you kind of throw rocks and hide your hands. You can't make those kind of allegations and have no proof. I understand that you don't like Shamea, but we do need you to give proof. If you know for a fact that she is sneaking around on her husband and sleeping with the Hawks players or the Falcons players, then release the receipts. But for you to throw this out is giving very juvenile, very elementary. It's giving a cheap read and a cheap shot. The girls always go for that. Oh, you're cheating when they're mad. Either show us the receipts, tell the names, or keep it on the playground. Just saying. Yeah, it's too serious to play around like that. You can't say that. You can't do that. I don't think that's fair for you to sit up there and try to damage her marriage by throwing out lies. I understand that you don't like her, but for you to do that, Angela, I'm sorry, it's juvenile and it's pathetic. And if I'm being honest, Angela, this does take you down a few pegs, in my opinion. I can't give you the crown for one of the best readers when we're throwing out cheap shots like this. So, yeah, it's very low. It's very low. That's exactly. She didn't like it when folks are saying that about Charles. So don't do this with Shamea. This could really destroy Shamea's marriage. I mean, think about it. We know that her husband does not care for these cameras. He doesn't want her acting anymore. He gives me a very strict man who is on a very tight leash in a way. And I think that he could believe these rumors and he could divorce her. So I think that you need to watch out about what you say. That's not right, Angela. I have to say, Angela, you lost me with this. I wasn't amused by this at all. I wasn't amused. And Shamea gets on my nerves. Lord knows she does. But I didn't appreciate you saying that about her. That was really messed up. It's dangerous without receipts. I agree. Like there wasn't anything that serious between Shamea and Angela, so why go this low? I agree. You said, hey, Miss Lee Carter, thank you for the super chat. Shamea should be cheating on Jurassic Gerald. My God. I don't think that she is. I think that Shamea knows what's at stake. I don't think she would. Even if she wanted to or wants to, I don't think I think that Gerald does not play that. He probably would have a PI following her around and he would divorce her with no money immediately. I don't think that she would chance it, in my opinion. Hey, Dark Child 99, thank you for the super chat. I'm a huge fan of Angela, but I didn't like how Angela acted in this episode about Shamea. I agree. She's better than this. I agree. I hope this new fame's not getting to her head. Andy warned Stacey about stuff like this on RHOP Reunion too. I agree. Angela, again, I gotta deduct some points because I didn't like that. Hey, Jacob, thank you for the super chat. Is Shamea in Kay's here next week? Kay tells Pinky Shamea and her mom had a conversation with her off camera about how Shamea's friends don't want her to be Kay's friend. Yes, Shamea is planting seeds to Kay. Yes, I saw the sneak peek of the next episode, and Kay Michelle did reveal that Shamea is in her ear planting seeds to her about, be on my side, be on my team, be loyal to me. So yeah, I think that Shamea is behind all this nonsense. Now, Shamea, I will say this. I won't be surprised if this is your last season on the show. Something tells me that you're not going to make it for a third season. Something tells me that this will be your last season. I feel it. This gives old tea from when Shamea was single. Yes, it does. I think that when Shamea was single, she was having her fun, as she should. But do I think that her as a married woman with her babies and her husband, I don't think that Shamea would risk it. I don't. So, yeah, Shamea's not that crazy to jeopardize what she has for some pen. Yeah, I agree. She has wealth, TV, and fame. I agree. Hey, Erica Young, thank you for the super chat. To be fair, the women during the season don't know the status of her life, so it's not like they aren't doing normal housewife stuff. That is true, but I think my point is to throw out allegations like this, you need to have proof. And Angela, you've watched the show. You've been a fan of the show for years. You know that the fans cannot stand when things are thrown out like this and there are no receipts. If you're going to say things, have the receipts on hand. That's just my 2 cents. The shade between Shamea and Angela is crass and baseless. I feel both of them are just saying anything, hoping something sticks. I agree. So now you feel it in your spirit, Brooke. No, I'm just... Angela shouldn't say that kind of thing. Infidelity in marriage is a serious accusation. It's more than just shade. It's a bomb. I agree. So now we have Cynthia saying, clearly you guys did not make up. And Angela says we didn't. And I'm mad because she walked away and I wasn't done yet. So now Cynthia says, hold on, wait up. I just got a text from Shamea. So she says, oh, by the way, Phaedra, you're on the text thread too. So we see that it's an invitation to Gerald's surprise birthday party tomorrow night. She wants Cynthia and Phaedra to come. Shamea, I'm confused by this. Shamea, you played so hard, and I'm gonna get you when we get to the party scene, but you played so hard because what do you mean you're inviting somebody 12 hours before to a birthday party? I don't care for last minute invitations. If I was not in the original plan, I don't believe in being an afterthought. I'm not thirsty to be anywhere where I wasn't originally thought of and wanted. So this throwaway invitation, oh yeah, girl, and the excuses that you came up with afterwards pissed me off. It was a pity invite. Shamea, this was so tacky of you and just so corny and lame. So mind you, the invitation says wear your finest African attire. So Cynthia says, this party is tomorrow. It's already 8 p.m. Where am I going to just run out and get African attire from? I wouldn't have come. It would have been like, you know what? Thanks, but no thanks. You guys have fun. Congratulations. Happy birthday to your husband. And that would have been that. Because how dare you? Now, on top of that, I'm confused about the invites because Shamea, you and Phaedra have been kind of strained. You and Phaedra were going at it a few episodes ago because of the whole Pinky Cole eating meat thing, right? Shamea, you said that Phaedra told you that and she didn't. So it's like, I'm just surprised that you and Phaedra have been on the outs for quite some time, but now you're inviting her into your home to be around you and your husband. I'm confused by that. You were better off inviting Portia than inviting, it was weird to me. It was like, that made no sense. You invited Phaedra and Dennis. Shady. Exactly. Okay, yeah, we said the same thing, honey. We said the same thing. So now Portia says, oh, it's your first time hearing about this party? She invited Dennis a week ago. Dennis? Shamea, Shamea, my biggest issue with you is that you are always the victim. You do really petty, underhanded things, and then you play the victim. And the mask fell off last season because we were all on your side at first, but it quickly slipped off. But this season for sure is showing me exactly why you and Portia are not friends. This was so lame. Why are you inviting Dennis? Girl, if I'm being really honest with you, you were better off inviting Portia than Dennis. That's crazy to me. That was so petty and just so stupid. So Drew's like, wait, she invited Dennis. The way she dragged me, I'm just so confused. She dragged me all last year about Dennis. Portia says, yeah, she dragged him too. So Angela says, well, that's because Dennis gave you a hit. That's why she's mad. She want to go get some hits from Dennis. So now Phaedra's asking if anybody wants to be her +1. And Drew says, well, I wasn't invited. So no, I don't want to crash any more parties. So Portia's like, wait, whose parties have you crashed? And Drew's like, your birthday trip last year. Remember that? So now they all start laughing. I forgot how horrible Portia was last season. Portia, I was on you. It's funny how one season can make or break everything, because last season you were horrible. Portia was insufferable last season, but I'm happy that Portia is back to the bubbly, happy person that she is now. Because yeah, last season, Portia, oh my gosh, I could not stand you last season. You were so rude to Drew when she came on your birthday trip. Oh, I could not stand it. But yeah, I'm glad that you are back to being normal again. Thank God. Yeah, Portia was horrible last year. Oh my gosh. Yes, Portia was so bad over effing Dennis. I agree. It's because of Simon. Shamea was the same one who was at that dinner with Ralph and Portia last season. Yes, she sure was. She sure was. I'm actually enjoying her. I guess the fraudster impacted her. She's trying to get a rise out of Portia and make a scene when somebody holds her accountable. Yes, always, always. Hey, Miss Lee Carter, thank you for the super chat. She had to invite them. Production was not coming. So I believe that too. I believe that production tapped her on the shoulder and said, hey, just so you know, Shamea, you're not that interesting. You're not one of our star housewives. So if you don't have any of the other housewives coming on, joining you in this scene for the birthday party, we will not show this. And this will be 6 figures gone to waste. So she's like, you know what? Let me call up Cynthia. Let me call up Phaedra, because that's a guaranteed. I'll get some camera time, because they said, yeah, babe, you and your family alone are not interesting enough. So you better invite somebody, because if you don't, we will not be filming. Okay? And she said, you know what? Let me call up Cynthia and Phaedra. Yeah, listen, honey, production will snatch you up quickly. They will let you know, babe, you are not one of our stars. Because like Portia could do a family scene with nobody else, and they'll still air it. Cynthia could even do a solo scene, and she's only a friend of. Phaedra can do a solo scene with no other castmates. They'll still film it. Shamea, not so much. They said even Drew could do a solo scene. They'll film her over Shamea. They said, Shamea, babe, they tapped that wrist and said, no, babe, we don't care about you and your husband that much. The kids are cute, beautiful kids, but babe, we don't care about you and your family. You better call somebody up right now and film with you, because otherwise this will be on the cutting room floor. So you make your choice. They let her know. They let her know, honey. They let her know. We will not be filming this. So you better call somebody up right now. You got 12 hours. The choice is yours. Okay? Even Kim Field's solo scenes are better than Shamea's. Okay? You said Gerald barely say 3 words. They said, honey, we're not coming setting out the crew to see your husband say, yeah, hey, yeah. They're not coming to see Gerald say that with his eyes closed and him barely opening his mouth saying this. So please, they said, honey, you're like your husband is nobody's Joe Gorga, like a house husband who's really funny. The Jersey husbands, they get their own solo scenes. Okay, Gerald can barely say 2 words. So you guys, yeah, honey, he is not made for TV at all. Brooke doing her impression takes me down, honey. We heard he said a total of 5 words at his own birthday party. He said, thank you everybody for coming. That was it. He said, yeah, thank you. Okay. Yeah. At least he got a smile this time. Okay. Baby, he gave us nothing, honey. He cut the cake with his eyes closed, and that was it. Oh my gosh. Just a hot mess. Just a hot mess. Hey, Damon Jones, thank you for the super chat. Do you think K. Michelle would call the way Shamea is moving plotting? Shamea has a weird history with engaging with her ops exes. I agree. I think that K. Michelle and Shamea are so locked in, though, that she's going to bypass whatever Shamea is doing and turn a blind eye to it, in my humble opinion. His brother talked for the both of them. Exactly. Yes, honey, check his pulse, okay? He said, somebody get me out of here. No, literally, at one point, the camera panned to him, and he was doing that fake smile. That smile was tight. He was looking like, can you please end this party? Get these folks out of my house. Get these cameras down. He looked so pained. I said, does your husband like having fun? He seems so stiff and just so dry. My God. Goodness. These dry husbands. Like, can you speak up? Say something. God. Jesus. His face was tight. He was like this. His eyes were closed. You said lockjaw. Yes, I got out the bed for this. Very much so. He did not want that party. He didn't want it. It's, honey, no charisma whatsoever, honey. He wanted to go to bed, honey. Oh my, yes, even Ray and Michael Darby give us more. Yeah, I have to say, dry as a Popeye's biggest biscuit with no drink, dry like Death Valley. The way they skipped over that party had my ass cackling. Oh my gosh. He looked like he was in pain. Oh my gosh. Oh, you guys are so silly. Can he hold a conversation, honey? He wanted to go to bed. So anyhow, we have a short scene with K. Michelle at home. She's on FaceTime with her son. He's getting ready for grad school. He works in DC. So she says her son is her best friend. He's the pedigree of who she is. He's the reason why she fought so hard for everything to make sure that he's taken care of. She says every sacrifice, every mental breakdown was worth it. Girl, we've seen you have so many breakdowns for over a decade. And I don't think any of them were for him, but okay. So now she's asking what he's doing tonight. She says, you better not bring any hot ass girls. I'm your mother. I can discern what kind of woman you need to marry. You don't deserve a gutter snipe. I said, that's real rich coming from you, K. Michelle. Let's move on. Let's move on. Kay, you just told the world that you allow your husband to cheat while you watch him have sex with other women because you get turned on by that. To each their own. I'm not here to kink shame anybody. People get off on different things, but you're probably not the best one to talk about who is best for your son. So God bless. God bless. So now it is the night of Gerald's surprise birthday. Shamea is talking about this party is lit. I mean, is it though, Shamea? Your husband's there with a smile tighter than I don't know what. All throughout the party, he's standing there like this. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I said, I don't know if he thinks the party's lit. I was waiting for the lit part too. Same here. He said, Shamea is so corny. Why were they all in such a small room? Tighter than Claudia's bob, honey. Tighter than Gina's budget on over on OC. Oh no. One of y'all have me screaming so bad in these comments. Oh my gosh. Y'all have me in tears right now. So she says that she wanted to shock him. She brought Kenya to him. She sent him out for the day with his guy friends and pretended like they were doing a family photo shoot. And then they came back to the house and everybody surprised him. Even during the family photo shoot, they showed the flashback of that, and his face still looked tight. He was looking like this in the pictures. I said, my God. I mean, I understand that, everybody's different, right? And that's the, variety is the spice of life. But, can you give us something, Gerald? I mean, my God, the personality is like dead fish. I just, you said a wrinkled zoot suit. Oh, no. I'm not playing with y'all. I'm not playing with y'all. When does the man smile? Tighter than Erica Jane's income. Looking like, oh my gosh. At least someone would speak to folks. Blink twice if you need help, Gerald. My husband takes pictures like that. Oh no. He didn't want that party. He would have been happy at Ryan's or Golden Corral. Oh my gosh. He pushing 70, baby. He's tired. Oh my gosh. There was no lit, no light, no nothing. Oh my, I mean, honey, no personality at all. Goodness. God, listen, if you're married to a Gerald type that does not talk and is dry, God bless. God bless you. God bless you. So now, before they start eating, we have one of his brothers give a speech. His brother Michael says, "You're the best gift that God gave us. May God bless you." You know, very sweet. His brothers seem more charismatic than him. So now I will say Shamea did have a nice spread. The food looked amazing. She had plenty of it too. So now we have Cynthia and LaPrince arrive. Kay Michelle and her husband arrive. Kelly's there. Now, Kay Michelle, your husband couldn't, I mean, he didn't try at all. Kay Michelle's husband did not try at all. He put that stole around his neck and said, "That's it, honey." He came in with a black tee and jeans on and some black Jordans and put that little stole on him and said, "Hey." When I tell you, I was in tears. I was in tears. I was in tears. I was in, honey, that black tee was wrinkled. That that black tee was wrinkled, honey. It was dusty and wrinkled, had that gray tint to it, a mess. And he put that stole on and said, "Hey, you know, I did my big one, honey. That's African inspired." I said, my God. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. That was exactly what he had on. When I tell you I was in tears, I said he didn't even try. He was better off not even putting that around his neck. I said, you know, oh my gosh. He thought he was a choir member in the Sounds of Blackness. I am screaming. He acts like Heavenly's husband, Damon. Oh my gosh. I could not stop laughing. That's because Shamea invited them the day of. Oh my gosh. So, mind you, you have Shamea. You have Shamea saying it's a surprise party. If people have too much time in advance, they text the birthday person, and I didn't want anybody ruining the surprise. So that's why everybody got invited at the very last hour. That is BS. I highly doubt that Phaedra and Cynthia and Kay Michelle were going to text your husband and spoil his surprise birthday party. No, Gerald barely talks. So I don't see anybody feeling comfortable to text him happy birthday anyway. He's somebody where I'll just say happy birthday to you when I see you face to face. That is definitely not somebody where he's married or not that I would even feel comfortable texting him about anything. So for you to say, well, I don't want anybody ruining the surprise, nobody is going to text him in the first place, Shamea. This is BS. Let's get to the real heart of the matter. The truth is, thank you, Ayana, but Dennis got an early invite. Exactly. The math's not mathing. It makes no sense. Shamea is lying. Let's call it what it is. Shamea, production called you up 48 hours prior and said, baby, just so you know, you're not that interesting. And if you don't have any of your cast members come to the party, we will not be filming it. So you can pick your choice. We'll give you another 12 hours to decide. But unless you have your castmates there, we will not be filming. So again, the choice is yours. That's what really happened. They do not care about your solo scenes. And they let you know, babe, we will have this party on the cutting room floor if you do not have somebody else there. That's it. That's the long and the short of it. So this BS about you don't want anybody to spoil the surprise, that's a lie. So anyhow, everybody's, Phaedra, Cynthia, and Kay Michelle are there. We find out that Pinky could not make it. She was booked and busy. She was speaking at an event. So now, mind you, the party's going on, and they're seated in one of their family rooms. off to the side and they're toasting to Gerald's birthday. Mind you, he did not want to be sitting down with them. They all toast to him and they were like, "Happy birthday, Gerald." And he's just like, "Yeah, thank you. Yeah." I said, "Can you say more than 2 words? Would it kill you to say a little bit more than yeah, okay, thank you?" I said, "My God." I said, "My God, today." He doesn't say a word. Like I was like, "My God." You have Kelly drunk. Kelly's over there crying. She's like, "I just want to say," she's holding her glass like this. She's like, "I just want to say, Gerald, you and Shamea are couple goals." And Kelly, you wanted a moment trying to squeeze out those fake tears. Girl, stop. You see Shamea and Gerald every single day. You're over at their house all the time. Why are you crying? It was just so fake. I said, enough already. She's like, "Gerald, you're a real man. And I love how you love your family. And I just want to say thank you so much." Kelly's tongue hanging out the side of her mouth, slurring her words. She's crying. I said, "Girl, it's too much." Honey, he was so disgusted. He was like, no, he wanted to say, "Girl, can you please shut up?" Gerald was looking at her like this. When she was like, "Gerald, you're a real family man, Gerald. You're a family man. And I really respect that. You're a real man." He was like, "Okay." Gerald couldn't even fake touch, like he was touched by her speech. He was like, "Okay." He was like, "Okay, are you done yet?" Kelly, you trying to pour your heart out was a mess. He was not impressed by it at all. He was just like, "Okay, girl, enough." So anyhow, K. Michelle says, "I don't know what they're licking and sticking in Atlanta." So to hear Kelly, I'm just trying to figure out, what did you join into? Now, I'm not trying to be funny, but half the time I never have any clue about what K. Michelle is talking about in her confessionals. I was so confused during this part right here. What are you saying? I mean, K. Michelle's another one who rambles on and says a bunch of nothing. She goes on to say they all love on each other. I've never seen such kumbaya. There's no way that all these people in Atlanta aren't hunching on each other. She says, "I would love to sleep with Kelly, Shamea, Gerald, and my husband. I want all in." I don't know what that had to do with anything about wanting to have an orgy with Shamea and Gerald. Now, you know, Gerald barely says 2 words and he's stiff as a board. So, if I'm going to talk about orgies and threesomes and group sex, Gerald would not be, I would not be thinking about him. I was so confused, but I said, Gerald does not come to mind when I just was, you have Gerald like this and barely says 2 words, but you want to have, I said, okay, I was so confused. Honey, whatever that means. The mental image, honey. He doesn't. I just, yeah, Godspeed. Godspeed. Why is K. Michelle even thinking about that? I have no idea. She said, "Give me a piece of," she's too freaked out. I said happy pride. K. Michelle is a weirdo. I just, I can't. Don't the ladies have to have a psychological evaluation for the reunion? Well, no. Well, yes, they do have. They do get evaluated before they join reality television. And the worse you do on the test, that you're a prime candidate for a show. If you actually pass the test, they don't want you. They don't want folks who are actually sane. They want people who are good and crazy. So yeah, if you fail the psychological evaluation, they're gonna want you. Step right on up. You're gonna get the contract. They're gonna say, "Oh, this is a prime candidate for reality TV." Honey, I'm sure that she failed the evaluation with flying colors, and that's why she's on our screens right now. Oh my gosh. So She failed this one hard, honey. Oh yeah, she failed it with flying colors. I know Karen failed with flying colors. Oh my gosh. She must have scored a 0. They must have given Kay 5 seasons up front. Production hit the jackpot, honey. Oh, they did. So now Phaedra says the next time we all get together, it's got to be everybody in the group. Agree? So now Kelly's like, is there a man involved? So Phaedra's like, what are you on, Kelly? You already have a man. So why are you talking about is the next event going to involve a man when you have a man? She says, maybe she forgot with all that drinking. I don't know. Again, this whole Jarvis storyline is fraudulent. First of all, you've already said 2 different things. You said the first time you met him at a Hawks game, now we're finding out from Shamea that she introduced y'all to. Now we're finding out that he did not pay for those teeth. It was free for free press and promotion for the dental surgeon. And now it's, well, are men going to be there? If you have a man, you wouldn't be thinking about other men. So yeah, again, Kelly, your storyline is fraudulent. Jarvis is an AI. He's been fake. He can't buy teeth. Jarvis is the new, okay, where is Jarvis? Nowhere to be found. So now Phaedra's like, close your vagina, Kelly, and say yes. So now K. Michelle brings up how Angela told her that Shamea and her had a meeting the other day. Shamea says, yeah, we did, and it did not even get past the waters. Shamea says she came for my marriage. Shamea says the first thing she said to me was, you being in the NBA, you had easy access to the players, and you effed all of them. So Cynthia says, well, let's hold on because she told us that you started with her first, and she responded to your energy. So now Shamea's like, well, wouldn't you with Bigfoot? So Cynthia's like, can we not call her Bigfoot? And Shamea says, I'm going to call her Bigfoot all I want. So Cynthia says, as a member of the Bigfoot community, and Shamea's like, well, you wear yours a bit different. You don't trip over your feet the way she does. I've never seen Angela trip over her feet, but okay. Shamea, the Bigfoot stuff is kind of corny. And mind you, we already did that with Mia on Potomac. Like, Candace already got the Bigfoot jabs in and we ate it up. We loved it. I was here for it, right? Mia deserved every bit of smoke. But yeah, when it comes to you're kind of recycling, you're reheating Candace's nachos, and it's lame. Find something else because we already did Bigfoot. That was so many years ago on Potomac. That was season 7 and 8 of Potomac. No, season 6 and 7 of Potomac. We've been there, done that. Okay. It's like it's just reheated nachos, and I need her to stop. So now I love how Cynthia was like, you know what, girl, we're in your house, so I'm gonna just be quiet. Cynthia was giving, babe, I'm not going to start a fight with you in your own home. You got it. Okay. If you want to stand down on that, then fine. I'm not going to fight you in your own home. I get it, Cynthia. So Shamea says, Cynthia, if you were standing on the same ground and the earth shook when she walked into a room, you would say the same thing. Again, it's corny. We've already done that with Candace and Mia. Candace did it flawlessly. Like, the Rees really ate down when she called her Bigfoot and how she cracked the foundation of the house. When you say it, it's recycled. It's stale. We've been there, done that. Enough. Find something new. Come up with your own thing. Like her lack of a storyline, okay? Cynthia did not want to be there at all. Yeah, Cynthia, yes. I peeped how Cynthia was giving, child, I just threw this on. I'm only here so that you get some camera time. Cynthia was giving, honey, I'm only here to do you a favor because production told me that if I didn't show up, they weren't going to film this party at all. That's Cynthia was like, you know what, girl, I'm gonna let you have this because you need all the camera time you can get, honey. That's what it gave. So now Shamea says she's booked Bigfoot. I'm not going to stop. So now K. Michelle's like, well, is there a second chance? And Shamea says, well, she told me that, with my fake ass. And Kelly says, well, I touched Shamea's ass and it felt really good. Her ass is not fake. It's very soft and juicy. So now Kelly's like, can I touch your butt again? And now Shamea stands up and bends over, and then Kelly's touching her butt again, and they all start laughing. This party scene was so boring. Shamea, you spent all this money on a party that your husband did not want. He barely said 2 words. and production barely filmed. It was boring. This party was so lame. I was embarrassed for you. So now we have Portia having lunch with none other than Giselle Bryant from Potomac, honey. Now I will say, Giselle, this is one of your better looks. The orange dress. I said, okay, Giselle. Giselle said, you know what? I already get flamed on my show about my fashions. Let me attempt to look better on Atlanta, because Atlanta, the fashions are there, right? But Portia says that she loves her some Giselle. They did a popular show called The Bravo Chat Room a few years ago, and she just loves her. Now, a quick side note. That Bravo Chat Room show was cute. I thought that Portia and Giselle did a great job with the show, and their chemistry, the way they bounced off the jokes and ideas, like they were both in their element. Again, I can always give the girls their 10s. Giselle, if you're watching this, if your team is watching this, let them know that I said I thought the Bravo Chat Room show was cute, right? I always thought it was interesting how they canceled it, because you guys were getting good ratings. And I always got the impression that they canceled the show it was direct competition to Watch What Happens Live. Because I think that y'all were getting even higher ratings then. And it kind of gave, pull the plug on this real quick. Because I was shocked when that show was canceled. I was like, and the show was cute. Like that was a cute show. It gave very much, this is direct competition, and we can't have that. So let's move along, honey. But yeah, honey, it gave that, because the ratings were good. They were seeing, I remember, like 400 to 500,000, and that's good. And Watch What Happens Live is getting 100 or 200. So I said, yeah, very much so. Yes, they had the guests. They had Heather Dubrow come in. They had so many Bravo celebrities. It was a really cute show. Yes, honey. Listen, honey. Yes, Kate Chastain was on there as well. She was on there, and then I remember she ended up leaving, and they had like rotating guests come in. But the vibe was cute. Portia and Giselle they did a really great. They did a great job. But I thought it was. I was like, okay. The network pulled that show quickly, honey. I said, all right. They could at least bring it back for BravoCon. Oh, that would be that would be cute. They could have had they could do a whole panel on it. Mm-hmm. So, yes, if it were the Beverly Hills Girls, it would still be on. Child. Yes, it was Hannah Berner. Thank you, Jameer. Hannah Berner from Summer House. She was also on there as well as one of the guest hosts as well. I wonder why Bravo couldn't just change the time of the show. Well, I mean, they formatted it so much. It was such a late night show, and it was only a 30-minute show, just like Watch What Happens Live. So I really do believe that it was too much. It was too popular very quickly, and the same format, the same vibe where it's late night. So they were like, no. It wouldn't work on an earlier time slot. So yeah. But anyhow, let's get back to the recap. So she says Giselle's one of those friends that's going to tell you like it is. And now Portia's like, I need you to be here more often. So Giselle says, actually, I am. I just filmed something for the soap opera Behind the Gates. And remember, we did see that they were in an episode. Her and Wendy were in an episode together a few months ago. So Giselle's, they both order their food. Giselle says, let's start from the beginning. Because when Portia says, when I saw you in New York a few months ago, and Giselle says, yeah, you weren't divorced yet. You were getting ready to do that. Portia says, girl, it was 15 hours in the courtroom, but we got it done the same day. So now they take a shot. They toast to take a shot. Portia says we're having a real girls' day. So now Giselle says, so anyways, let's get on to Shamea. Portia's like, not you having bullet points. And Giselle says, I've talked to y'all about y'all's relationship. I have rooted for y'all being better. Where are y'all today? Portia says, well, we rest the case. They both start laughing. Portia says, I don't have any hard feelings, not harboring any bad feelings against her. I'm not going to sit up there and exclude her from anything. It's not that serious. So now the producer goes on to ask Portia, how does she feel about not being invited to Gerald's party the other night? Portia says, look, that's her house. She doesn't want me to come. That's cool. The day she brings drama to my face, I'm still going to say hi and bye to her. Keep it cordial. So Portia says, just because I decided that we're not going to be best friends right now, it doesn't mean I'm going to treat her bad or exclude her. I don't have to do that. I don't want to make stuff awkward. That's ridiculous. Giselle says that's not necessary. Giselle, I promise I'm not trying to bring up old stuff. But Giselle, I need you to take your own advice. That's real rich coming from you to say that's not necessary to ice people out. Giselle, this is just straight facts. This is straight. I'm just reporting straight facts right now. I'm always reporting facts. Let's clear that up. Giselle, that's very disingenuous of you to say that. You are the known ice queen of your franchise. We have seen you ice the girls out that you can't stand. Candace Dillard-Bassett and Wendy Osefo would like a word with you today. You still won't make things right with Candace. Every time her name gets brought up, you refuse to say her name. You iced her out in the last season that she was on the show, even though you were at fault, mind you, but you will not sit up here and do that. When you were beefing with Wendy for 3 straight seasons in a row, you laughed at Wendy when Wendy got assaulted for no reason. We're not going to sit up here and play revisionist history. I know that you and Wendy made up season 9, but don't sit up here and do that. You don't make things right with people. When you don't like them for whatever reason, you sit up there and make their lives living hell to run them off the show. We've seen that several times now. So for you to say, oh yeah, that's not necessary, that's a bold-faced lie, Giselle. I was so shocked that you said that. I said, Giselle, I'm so sorry. I can't allow you to do this. I can't. You look beautiful in this scene. I like the dress. That orange really brightened you up. I thought the hair was laid. I thought you looked good. But when it comes to you sitting up here trying to play peacemaker and what's not cool and what's not right, no, ma'am. No, ma'am. The way you did Candace and Wendy for seasons, and you are and the funny part is, you guys are filming Potomac right now, and they're saying that Wendy's you're giving Wendy a hard time, like old times again. It's back to what it was when Robin was on the show. So you're back on the BS again, allegedly. They're saying that Wendy had to take some time off of filming. It was that bad for her. So I'm just like, a mess. Giselle, we're not going to sit up here and have amnesia. Let's move on. I'll be able to respect your opinion about Portia and Shamea when you do right by Candace and apologize to her for what you did, lying on her husband, and when you can be a mature adult and just say, you know what, I'm sorry, let's move on. Until you can do that, until you can do things right by Candace, I can't get on the bandwagon and cheer for you right now saying this to Portia. I can't. But I mean, this was a cute scene. It was a cute scene. Hey, Darkchild99, thank you for the super chat. This lady went to Wendy and Eddie's own home and said absolutely nothing to them at their event, and then laughed and side spoke during their speech. Yes, the definition of ice out. Hypocrisy, Giselle. Hypocrisy. It is. I don't like how she will sit up there and lie to people. Like, she will sit up there and lie and act like she doesn't do what she's telling other people not to do. That when Wendy and Eddie had their soft launch for Happy Eddie. I will never forget how she did not speak to them at their event. That pissed me off so bad. And Wendy and Eddie gave them all nice goodie bags. Giselle was like, "Oh, I'm gonna smoke this when I get home. I'm gonna have a good time with this," but did not speak to either one of them. When Eddie gave his speech, thanking them all for coming, she was rolling her eyes, reapplying her lipstick, a mess. So for her to say this now is a joke to me. Giselle came for a quick cameo in Atlanta only to get dragged for her past actions. Only because she said that comment. That's the only reason why I would not have brought this up. I think Giselle may be playing a character on her show. I will say that now, I met Giselle before. I met Giselle at BravoCon in 2022. Took a picture with her and everything. She was lovely. I could tell that she knew who I was, and she was looking at me she was pleasant. She wasn't rude. She was pleasant. I complimented her. I said, you guys had the best panel at BravoCon this year. She was lovely. Now, season 7, at that BravoCon in Vegas, 2023, she walked away when I tried to get a picture with her. Because I wanted to ask her, why'd you do that to Wendy? Because that was not right, right? I will say this, though. So many people, so many housewives have told me on the low, and I've heard from her team and various other people that she kind of is playing a role and that she disassociates from her real life from the show. And that has been one of the most troubling things for her castmates, her former castmates, who genuinely go on the show trying to make peace with her and be friends with her. They're like, this is my real life. I can't disassociate. And that's why I've always asked y'all, I'm not understanding that logic of, if this is supposed to be your real life, how are you disassociating? I think it is weird that she's able to play this character when it's supposed to be your real life. And the way that because I've heard so many people say that her, Kyle, and a few other housewives do this thing where it's like, on camera, I might curse you out, I might lie on you, but the minute the cameras go off, it's like, okay, girl, I was just playing around. Let's go out for a drink. And it's like, wait, like I can't do that. Like, I'm not. So I do think that you have a point. I do think that she is playing a character, but I think that yes, she's playing a character, but I think that that's kind of troubling, because how can you play that if it's supposed to be your real life? I don't know. It's just weird. I'm still at a loss for words when it comes to this thought process, because that means that we're not getting the real you then if we're playing a character. This might as well be a scripted show then, right? Yes, it feels very soulless. I agree. Because even Crystal on Beverly Hills said that was her biggest thing about Kyle. Kyle would curse you out, sit up there and have the whole group jump on you. Then the cameras go off and she's like, oh, I didn't mean any of that, girl. Let's go have some sushi. Let's go to Katsuya and have some sushi and have some martini. And Crystal would be like, I can't do that. You just cursed me out and lied on me, call me a bitch, and to see you next Tuesday. But now it's like, let's go out for sushi. Like, are you and they said Giselle's the same way. So I don't know. It's weird. It's really weird. She's plotting and scheming while the cameras are down, though. Soap opera. I could accept that from Giselle if she was mean to everybody and just know it as the mean girl, but she chooses to bully specific women. I understand. It's a scripted show with terrible actors. It's way too choreographed. Absolutely not. Apparently, Giselle has some deep mother wounds, too. There's some good video essays about her on here. I could see that. That's very bizarre. Yeah, I couldn't do that either. I believe that's part of Giselle. She may not show it to everybody or every relationship, but it's in her. Yes, I agree. I couldn't do that either. She's a fraud and production allowances. She's too insecure. Why not be yourself? That's very bizarre. Yeah, I feel the same way. They consider themselves as actresses. Ask Drew. That reminds me of when Candace called out Monique about playing roles after that dinner. Yes. And yes. We caught Monique red-handed because she thought they were demiked, and the mic still got them. That's when my the bells started spinning. Like, oh my gosh, Monique is a fraud. You are absolutely correct. That dinner, when you hear Monique say to her off camera, but we still catch it, and she says, "Girl, I was just saying that at the table. I don't mean like no, we're still good." And Candace is like, "Why the f would you do that?" Yes, but yes, a lot of these women are playing a role, and they don't know who they are anymore. They need to do a whole deep dive on how these shows change your brain chemistry, because I could not imagine getting on one of these shows and I'm playing such a horrible person, but then off camera I'm like lovely. I could not imagine that. It's weird. That's really sad. It's easy to be yourself and you're raised to be allowed to. That was season 5, before the fight, before the assault. That was like season 5, episode 3 or 4. It was a mess. It's a game behind it. You would think she could, wait, what happened? Just shrink when she was on Andy's show with Phaedra. I can't fake the funk. They believe the hype. I agree, it's a character. Drew's playing a role. She's just good at it. Nothing about Giselle Reed's low self-esteem. The way they act can affect your mental health. Y'all can't goop and gag me on camera and claim it's just for giggles. If Giselle is pretending she could be anybody on Potomac and the most valuable version of herself in her mind is portrayed on TV is this mean, cruel version, I guess so. It gives sociopaths to be able to dip in and dip out of personalities like that. I agree. Dang, you have a good memory down to the episode. No, don't quote me on it. I think it was early in the season, because the fight episode happened in episode 9. That episode that you just referred to, that was early, and that was like episode 3 or 4, if I'm not mistaken. When they had that discussion at that restaurant. But the fight episode was episode 9. For the plot, she'll do anything. Yes, Tamara is an example of this as well. I agree. So treating dark-skinned women weird is just who she is, because why would you want that to be a character? Very weird. Like, I still remember the episode where Monique's pastor came on there and tore her up. He said, "Babe, don't you ever forget." He said, "These women are not impressed by you. You thought that 4 homes was going to impress the girls, and you did not goop or gag the girls at all." He said, "Never forget. You met Chris when you were living in your pickup truck. He saved you from the pickup truck." I said, he said, "You used to come to church every Sunday living in your pickup truck." I said, "My God." Her pastor said, "Baby, you will." The way her pastor came in, and that pastor let her know, "Baby, I don't care about these cameras. I'm going to tell you what it really is." That, honey, the pastor let her know, set her straight. He said, "Don't you ever forget, baby. These girls are not impressed by you. Okay? And you are still that same insecure woman who's living in your pickup truck, driving around trying to find a baller. And you found him. And you're still not happy with life." I said, "My God." I said, I would have snatched the SD cards from that camera. Oh, no. Yup. She fell out with that pastor too. Doesn't speak to the pastor anymore. Yup. Thank you. Season 5, episode 11, honey. That pastor let her know. He said, "No." He said, "No, ma'am." He said, "You sat up there and you assaulted that girl for no reason. You had no right to assault your friend." Pastor broke it down. He said, "Honey, let's get to the root of why you're so angry, or why there's so much anger in your heart." Honey, that pastor was not playing. That was the episode after the assault. The pastor was speaking for the mama, honey, not the episode named Jameer, honey. Yet, honey, Jameer broke it down. Watching that pastor on the show, embarrassing. Pastor said, "F these cameras." He packed her right on up. Did. Child, you see how we always get back to Potomac? All roads lead to Potomac. I trusted that pastor. He was so real. Give the pastor his flute. I like that pastor. He was honest. Ruined a whole friendship, got iced out, all because she wanted to fit in. Yes, honey, the pastor, let's get to the fruit. Let's get to the truth and the fruit and the root of why you are acting like this. Pastor read her down. I ain't seen him since. Yeah, honey. He was like, cut the cameras, dead ass. So I had to rewatch that episode now, honey. Listen, honey. That pastor was not playing with her. So anyhow, how do we get back on the Potomac, honey? I'm a mess. We all need somebody in our life that is honest. Me in my house during that scene, a pickup truck, child. Her stands never discuss that sit down with the no, they never do. Well, no, that's actually not true, because every time I bring that up, you have I have people in the comments saying that's not right for her pastor to say that, and who the F does he think he is? No, when I bring that up, her stands do get upset when I bring that scene up. And they start saying, oh, F him, and he had no right to say that, and why would he say that to her on camera? A mess. So yeah, honey, her stands get upset every time I bring up that scene. So you said because of Giselle and her hypocritical statement. Yeah, you're right. That's how we got onto this. He should have went further. And let's come back on, y'all. Let's get back to Atlanta, y'all. Oh my gosh. Yes, honey. They turned it into he was talking down to her. Yes, they do. You know, they probably turned that scene off when they got to that scene. You sure did, Pastor Baby. You were driving that F-150, okay? Y'all will not sit up here and do this. Oh my gosh, Brooke, do you still get PTSD about season 5? I do. Yes, honey. Back to the South, back to Atlanta. Oh my gosh. Hey, Rich the Fish, thank you for the super chat. That pastor told Eddie to confess over that email. Damn. Now we know why she's so close with Ashley. Ashley came from under the bridge and Mo came from the pickup truck. Okay, hold on. Shout out to my girl, Erica De Niro. Erica's recap. Shout out to the diva, honey. Erica's recap on that episode regarding the pastor was phenomenal, because she said the same exact thing. She said the same exact thing about why her and Ashley are so close. Her recap was one of my favorites. I went back and I had to rewatch that several times. That was a really good. She said Ashley came from the tent with Sheila, and Monique came from the pickup truck, and Karen came from the farm. She gathered. She tore. Her recap on that episode was phenomenal. Oh, phenomenal. Shout out to the diva. Phenomenal. But let's get back to Atlanta, y'all. Let's get back to Atlanta. Yeah, no, when I tell you Erica ate down with her recap on that. Oh, yes, honey. Erica De Niro, right here on YouTube. Phenomenal. Oh, please check her out. We were having a field day season 5. It was me, Erica, Rodney the Voice, Contrary Canary, my girl. We were united in waging the war for Candace. Like we were fighting the good fight. The 4 of us are fighting the good fight, honey, because everybody else was Team Monique, honey. That season was a mess. Oh my gosh. But yes. So anyhow, y'all, back on. I know I need to be whacked because I said Miss Darby's name. I said I would not say her name. You were the only ones that saw through the psychosis. Season 5 was a war in the comments. Oh, honey, we were being gaslit. Oh my gosh. Oof. Oh my, Twitter was horrible. No, I did say her name again. I did. I know. Feel free to whack me. I said I wouldn't say her name. We were in the trenches, Brooke, honey. We were. Yo, let's move on to Atlanta, because I don't want the folks in the replay to say, oh my gosh, really? It was too much of Potomac. Enough. All right, yo, let's move back on. For the replay watchers, don't be upset. Sometimes we do veer off. You know this by now. So don't get smart in the comments. So anyhow, it is now the day of the audition for Pinky's Edgewood TV show. So we do see that there's a line wrapped around the block, wrapped around the building. Pinky says that she wants the best of the best. Now, the best of the best, and the budget's only $40,000. I don't think so. But God bless Pinky. So mind you, we see Drew arrive with her driver/assistant, Danny. We met Danny in the last episode when he was reading them all down. in that meeting. So now Drew bypasses the line, and so now she walks into the waiting room and sees Shamea reading the lines. So they both hug each other, like, "Hey, what's up? What's going on? What a nice surprise." Shamea says that Pinky called her too and asked if she would audition. Shamea says, "What a pleasant surprise to see you. One of us is going to leave with the role. How exciting." So now Shamea says, "Drew has been in this game for a minute. How awesome would it be if we would all have a role in Pinky's new film?" Production corrects her. It's going to be a scripted series. So now Drew's like, "Are you auditioning?" And Shamea says, "Yes, I am. How about you?" So Drew says, "Oh, I didn't get the role." Drew says, "No, I don't know the role." So Shamea's like, "Oh, do you want to look at the lines and then decide?" So Drew says, "No, I'm fine." So Drew says, "I have a team that handles my bookings, and there is a way that it works with actors and actresses. It needs to go through my new manager, Keon. And then with that, there's a proper booking that takes place. But I am here to support her, but an audition, no." So now Drew's like, "Do you want me to read the lines with you?" And Shamea says, "No, it's a real audition for me." Shamea, it wouldn't kill you to just accept some help. Drew has been in the game for over 20 years. Why wouldn't you want to read lines with an actual pro? But whatever. She's not an amateur like you. No shade. So now Drew says, "I want you to kill it." And now she leaves the room to go and say hi to Pinky and the other casting directors. And Naturi's there as well. So now Drew and Naturi hug. They're like, "Oh, girl, it's good to see you." Drew says that me and Naturi go way back. She's an amazing actress. Whenever I see her, it's all love. So now Naturi's like, "Hey, Drew, I know it's super last minute, but we want you to audition." Pinky says, "Yeah, it's total improv." So Drew says, "Oh, I wasn't planning on auditioning." And now Pinky is upset. So Drew says, "I was just coming out to support you." So Pinky says, "Well, your manager Keon told me that you were going to audition." Drew says, "I would never want to come here and half step it." So now Pinky says, "You know what, Drew, I am disappointed. I have to be honest because I want you to come out and audition." So Drew says, "No, no, no. When you said audition, I said send me the script." So now Pinky's version of events goes, she called Drew. Drew said, "Send the sides to my manager." She got on the phone and said, send everything to her. And now Drew says, my version of events is, she said, "Come and audition without a script and sides. That's just not how this works. I do things in decency and order. You have to give you have to send my agency the information." And she chose not to follow it. Pinky says, "I don't have time to play cat and mouse with Drew." Pinky, I don't like that you're trying to spin this on Drew now. This is not a cat and mouse game. You did not do things in the right way. There is an order and a protocol, and you chose not to do that. I don't like how overfamiliar. I want to say something so bad, but I don't feel like people getting upset with me, so I'm going to just be quiet. But this is a case of overfamiliarity, because I can assure you, had this been talent, you would have done things in the proper way. Let me just move on. It's unprofessional. I don't like this feeling of we're both and we're friends, so I don't have to go through the proper channels to do things in the right way. You get what I'm saying? Because had this been, you would have made sure that everything was on the up and up and done the right way. Don't slack off just because we're both. You get what I'm saying? I just, yes. And no, it's a problem. And you see it all the time in different arenas. It's too much of that, and it's got to stop. But let's move on, honey. Let's move on. Yes, business is business. It's very true. Exactly. Thank you. Okay, we all see each other. Exactly, Jameer. Since Pinky was producer for Maury and Iyanla, she should know how to do proper protocols in this type of industry. Thank you. Like, that's what I'm saying, Pinky. I'm confused. You know how the game goes. So why are you trying to shame Drew and act like she's the one at fault? I don't like that. I just, yeah, we do see each other. We see each other. We do. So now Pinky's like, Let me find out you think you're too good for the project, child. Nobody said any of that, Pinky. All Drew is saying is do things in the correct way. I told you to send the script and the sides to my management, and then that's how I book things. I'm not booking it because you called me up and said, "Hey, you want to audition?" We don't do things like that. I'm a professional. Like, don't play on my name. Drew says it's not that. She says, I've had a lot of box office movies. I never take things for granted. So Pinky's like, what box office? What box office? You mean FedEx box? The UPS box? Pinky, don't do that. Don't downplay the woman just because your feelings are hurt. You did things the wrong way, in the wrong order, and she said, I'm not going for that. And now your pride and your ego are hurt. So now you want to tear down her career. Don't do that. Don't sit up. She was in White Chicks. She's been on That's So Raven. Baby, all the movies. Okay? Put some respect on her name. Don't sit up there and play her career, downplay her career because your feelings are hurt. That's on you, Pinky. I didn't like that. I didn't like that at all. That really pissed me off. And also, girl, you want to sit there and throw shade about, the FedEx box, the UPS box, when you're making this movie that nobody cares about, or the show, whatever it is, a series, a movie, a commercial, whatever it is, for $40,000. I don't know who that's paying, but okay. But I said, girl, not too much. Because what have you been in? I didn't like that. Drew says, put some respect on my name. Check my IMDb. I've worked with John Travolta, Martin Lawrence. The list goes on and on. So now Drew heads out, and Pinky's like, yeah, you ain't got to go home. You got to get the hell up out of here. Pinky, that would have sent me into orbit. I might have cursed you out for that. Don't get cute in front of this team of people. Talk about, I got to kick you out, get the hell up out of here. Who are you talking to? And it wasn't a joke either. I didn't like how she said it. I didn't like her tone. Very smug. You're trying to be funny, trying to be snide. Girl, don't ever try to get cute and try to embarrass me in front of a group of people. I said, because even Drew was like, who's kicking me out? Like, who's kicking who out? Like, I know you're not kicking me out. Like, wait, what? I was annoyed. Drew was like, baby, I drove an hour here. So Pinky says, I'm kicking you out, but I still love you. So now she gets Drew a hug. Drew was pissed. She said, Pinky says, I want you to audition, but I do respect the craft. Drew says, okay, girl, call me later. I'll talk to you later. And now Drew leaves. So now Pinky says to her team, I thought this was an audition. She did not say yes when I asked her. She said, send me everything. I asked for her email. I never got her email. Naturi says, well, that's probably why then. So now we see Shamea go into audition. Shamea did a nice job. I mean, I don't know how. I don't know who the character is supposed to be. I don't know, but Shamea, I guess Shamea did a great job in the audition. She's playing like a mean boss or something. I don't know. But Shamea says that she's excited. She's still pretty new to acting, finding out that her husband does not want her to kiss or have relations on camera. She's figuring out what kind of roles she can accept that aren't offensive to her marriage. And she really does want this role. So now Pinky says, you know what, Shamea, you killed it. People like you are going to be successful in life. You didn't play the friend card. Well, Pinky, that's kind of ironic for you to say that you didn't play the friend card to Shamea, because you played the friend card with Drew when it came to the audition thing. You bypassed all the proper protocol, so you can't say that. Like, I just said, the hypocrisy is hilarious. People need to stay in their lane and find their niche. Not everybody can be an actor or a singer. Okay, Pinky, Shamea had the I, but definitely was missing the T. Girl, you said, but you tried to. Shamea's acting in that commercial wasn't even good. Oh, no. Oh, you said, Pinky, shut the F up. Isn't Pinky playing the friend card for both Drew and Shamea? She is. Pinky was playing the friend card. Pinky always tells on herself. Exactly. Just a mess. Hey, cool nerd. Thank you for the super chat. Shamea was in Drumline. Her IMDb is long, too. Oh, my gosh. Thank you for saying this. One of y'all brought this up on Twitter last night, too. This is very reminiscent of Sonya on her last season, when she tried to get Candy and Kenya to promote her clothing line for free, and Candy and Kenya both said, "Excuse me, I don't work for free. Just because I'm your friend, don't take advantage." And they were both like, "Girl, I'm not doing this." Kenya did not wear her shirt. Yes, that's exactly what this was. This was the equivalent to Sonya pulling that stunt with trying to get Candy and Kenya to model her merch. And they were both like, "Girl, excuse me, a mess." I remember that. Thank you for bringing that up. That is so true. Just trying to get a storyline out of Drew. That's exactly what that reminded me of. Yes. Shamea doesn't even have a SAG card. Let's be for real. Damn. Shacool Nerd is Shamea's one and only shooter. I forgot who Sonya was. Drumline as an extra. You said yes, and they both said no, ma'am. If Sonya would have asked, they might have, but to call them there and try to play them, yep, play slick, no, ma'am. Yes, because even Candy said, if you would have just asked me, I would have done it for you for free. But for you to sit up there and act like it's going to be some event, and then it's like, surprise, model my t-shirts. They were like, no, ma'am. Kenya wasn't going for it. Kenya said, baby, absolutely. Kenya, no. Kenya was not here for it at all. At all. You said Drew is accomplished. She tried to be sneaky. Yes. Drew is accomplished until she does something they don't like. Then they try to drag her resume. Yes, all the time. Every time. So now we see K. Michelle at her home, and she's talking to her assistant, and she's having Phaedra come over. She says, I tried everything in my life not to like Phaedra, but when it comes to speaking what it is, I'm most relatable to Phaedra. Maybe I can build a friendship. K. Michelle's always saying a whole bunch of nothing in her confessionals. I just don't understand it, but whatever. I will say K. Michelle's home is pretty. It being right on the water, that view, very serene, very peaceful, beautiful home. So now K. Michelle says that her upbringing was very Southern. She wants to see what kind of pie Phaedra's going to bring. That will show her the type of woman that she is. So we see Phaedra pull up, and Phaedra brings her a pecan pie. Phaedra says, K. Michelle says, the fact that she brought me a pecan pie shows me that she's a nut, and I'm with it. I said, well, you guys are both nuts, so... you really can't make this up. So now they go out back to go fishing on K. Michelle's dock. And mind you, K. Michelle has hot dogs soaked in Kool-Aid because that's going to bring the fish on the line, right? Phaedra's like, I never heard about any chopped up hot dogs in order to get fish, but okay. They don't catch any fish, mind you, but they are having a good time. So now Phaedra says, this is a beautiful start to being a newlywed. How do you like being a newlywed? Because being a newlywed was hard for me. I said, Phaedra, why are you saying that with such surprise? We're not surprised to hear that you had a hard time as a newlywed to Apollo. You married a man who was 8 years younger than you, who was looking for a come up and a lick, and that's what you were to him. He was an unemployed jailbird who you thought was so handsome, and he was a serial cheater. You weren't his type. He was at the club every day with his real type, while you were at home with the kids. We're not surprised that being a newlywed was difficult. You married a bum. Like, you're saying it like we're surprised. He was fresh out of prison. That got her pregnant on an air mattress. Like, I'm just, I don't get why she's acting so surprised. So very much from the washer to the dryer. He wasn't even that cute either. Okay. Faye, get up off the floor. Brooke, let her go. I mean, I'm just saying, why are you expecting loyalty and love from an unemployed jailbird who was a lot younger than you. Like, I'm just confused. You could look at Apollo and see that that marriage is not going to last. He was there to get a check and a come up, and that's what he got. A mess. Let the mouse go, Brooke. All right, let me let it go, honey. I just, God bless. I'm sure. Listen, I'm sure the sex was great, but he did what he had to do to secure the bag. So I'm sure he sexed you up real good. Had you on top of the washer and the dryer, the chandelier, and you were having a good old time. But he did what he had to do to secure the bag, and he did that. So Phaedra's an OG desperado. Yeah, no, if we're being honest, yes. But I digress. You said, good Lord, Brooke. Brooke, I'm eating, please. Yeah, honey, Olive in the breezeway, everything. Imagine being mid-30s lying about your due date. Yes, he did say that he used to do her over the sink. Yes, I remember that. You guys are so silly. So anyhow, he kept committing crimes and had no job. Every year, one year he was an astronaut. The next season he was a workout instructor. Then the next season after that he was a nutritionist. Then he was, then he was a chauffeur. Then he was selling shoes. Then he was, he was selling pens. Then he was selling spoons. Every year he had a new business, a new scheme. He was in a new industry. He was the original businessman. Oh my gosh. I am really, I'm on a roll today. I am on a roll today. Hey, Tammy up north. Thank you for the super chat. Your lives have become my favorite. Can't miss one. Thank you so much, Tammy. Yes, honey. A new scam every 365 days. Yes, honey. Oh, honey, listen. He was a repo man one season, and then right before they got divorced, she was like, "You know what? I give up, child. I don't know what he does, but he does something." And Kenya was right. Kenya clocked it when she said, "We all know that Apollo doesn't have $7,000 to spend at the strip club. He's spending Phaedra's money. That's Phaedra's money at the strip club." Exactly. He was like, "Yeah, I spent $8,000 at the strip club, baby, with your wife's money." A mess. Oh gosh. So, anyways, let's get back to K. Michelle and Phaedra, right? So Phaedra says, "You've got to make a vision board of what you see this marriage becoming." Did you make a vision board about you and Apollo, Phaedra? Let me know in the comments. So K. Michelle says, "He doesn't have any kids. I felt obligated to give him kids. She was doing IVF back to back for a year straight. She never had a clear head." Now, I said respectfully, what was your excuse before? I don't think K. Michelle has ever had a clear head. This episode was straight jokes for me. This episode was straight jokes. You don't understand. I must have laughed so hard in this I could not stop laughing. There was no clear head before, during, or after. No vision to be found, honey. Oh my gosh. I am truly on one in this. I'm truly on one today. So now K. Michelle goes on to say she'll never go through IVF again. Those hormones were enough. She's going to deal with a donor. She says, he's not against that. He wants a child from me. So Phaedra says, "Yeah, I saw the way you were holding Shamea's daughter at her party." K. Michelle says, "Oh my gosh, she is just so cute." Again, Shamea has such adorable kids. Both of her daughters are just adorable, like so cute. Every time I see them, I'm like, oh my gosh, my ovaries are literally jumping. Like they are so cute. I will say, even though these women act a fool, the kids are always their saving grace for me. The kids are always so adorable, just very sweet. So anyhow, Phaedra says, Portia invited you. Portia wasn't invited. Do you know why? So K. Michelle's like, girl, you know why Portia wasn't invited, please. So Phaedra says, we need to have a good time as a group. Did you see that Drew's going to be singing the national anthem? So K. Michelle sarcastically says, well, that's amazing for her. Phaedra says she wants us all to come. So of course, K. Michelle's being, again, just really rude. She's like, oh, she does. So Phaedra's like, are you going to come? So K. Michelle says no. Phaedra's like, why not? K. Michelle says, for you to tell me that I don't belong in this group, well, I don't belong around you at the bottom. K, you cannot be hurt and upset by Drew's comment. You came for her first. You talked about her career first. You were nasty to her first. You can't dictate how she responds back to your nastiness. She told you right because you're acting erratic and unhinged. You can't be so sensitive now, but oh, she told me I don't belong, so now I don't want to be around her. She is. That's it, and that's all. She really is. So now, Phaedra says, if we're going to get along, we have to do things that might not be comfortable for the greater good of the group. So K. Michelle says, well, I'm already sick. So Phaedra says, well, I'm going to send you some Theraflu, girl. So K. Michelle says, well, you know what? I'll think about it. Phaedra says, yes, please think about it for me. Kay, I really hope and pray that at this reunion, you can give us a clear answer about why you hate Drew so bad, because it's not adding up. Drew has not done anything to you. If you could let all of us know, I would appreciate that. Again, for K. Michelle's people, if you could let me know, anybody know, what K. Michelle's real issue is with Drew, I would love to hear it. So now it is the day of the Rich in Spirit charity softball game. That's where Drew's going to be singing the national anthem. So Drew says she's super honored to be asked to sing the national anthem for the Rich Homie Quan memorial event. We all remember Rich Homie Quan. He was a rapper. His life was cut short a few years ago. Just tragic, very, very sad. Drew says that Rich Homie Quan was such a rising icon in Atlanta. She says that his family's throwing the event for the community with free food and games. Couldn't be more proud to be here. May I say, I've said this before, but I really do love how Atlanta consistently shows the charity events that they do have. And there's always something. There's always a giveaway. There's always a give back for the kids. I love how the kids are playing around, having fun. They had hamburgers and hot dogs. Like I just love that. Like stuff like that always warms my heart. We need more of that, especially in these times. But very touching to see the kids having a good time, and it was a really big turnout. I love that. So now, we see Shamea show up first, and she says, "I'm here to support Drew singing." So now Drew says, I am shocked to see Shamea show up, but Rich Homie Quan was a big deal, so you have to show up, right? So now Shamea's asking if she wants to practice the national anthem real quick, and Drew says, no, thank you, I already did. So Shamea says, well, you wanted to help me with my script yesterday. And Drew says, well, girl, I never heard you sing the national anthem. So mind you, Pinky comes over while they're bickering, and Shamea's like, well, actually, I sang the national anthem so many times at the NBA games, by the way. First of all, Shamea, you can't compare Drew trying to help you out with lines, that comparing it to you. You can't compare that to you trying to help her sing the national anthem. Drew is an actual actress. You are not. So her giving you pointers and trying to read lines, that's fine. You trying to help her out singing wise, girl, Shamea, you just can't help yourself. Shamea, this is not a competition. Yes, it's not. As you said, pure jealousy of Drew. Shamea's insecurity is showing. I agree. As you said, it's jealousy. Girl, it's not the same. It's not the same. It's not. You said, we know, Shamea, you got your connections through Falcons players. Shamea, you're not the better singer or actress than Drew. I agree. Shamea is so high school. The jealousy is loud. Mind you, Shamea sang with Portia, and Portia sounded better. Damn. Yes, jealousy that Drew has been in the acting business for a long time. Yes, let her have her moment. I agree. So now, Pinky comes over. Drew and Shamea are still bickering. And Drew's like, I wanted to hear how your audition went yesterday. So Pinky says, Shamea killed it. And by the way, Drew didn't audition. So mind you, Drew's manager, Keon, sees what's going on, and she pulls Drew off to the side so she can get ready for her performance. Drew says, I'm grateful that Keon whisked me away because I have to sing, and they're both wearing me thin. So now we see Portia and Kelly arrive. We have Rich Homie Kwan's father say a prayer. They release doves, and now it's time for the event to start. Really beautiful. May I say, I love when I see like a dove release at a memorial or a funeral. It's always very touching to me. And did you know that you can actually have a pet dove? Like doves, you can actually have them as a pet. I just found that out recently. And they're very affectionate, I heard. They're really affectionate, really sweet, but really clingy. So I said, oh, who has the time? Like, imagine like trying to leave to go out. Like dogs are already clingy. You guys told me, I'm like, yeah, I can't do pets. But they said that doves are so clingy. Like they'll start crying if you go out. And I'm really sensitive. So imagine a dove crying. Now I'm crying with the dove. And now it's a lot. But yeah, you can get a dove for a pet. So, but they're very affectionate, very clingy. That dove breaks me down every time. Same, you need 2 doves though. Oh, wow. So to have 2 doves, they're both clingy, and now all 3 of you guys are crying because they don't want you to leave the house. It's enough birds in Atlanta. Not crying with the dove, honey. You said cats don't give an F. Yeah, cats seem to be very nonchalant. Like, okay, girl, go. You can go. I don't care. So you said, I got dove soap. That's enough. You said when doves cry. Don't tell that to Monique Mayweather. The way I just screamed. Not crying with the doves. Now I'm crying with the dove. That's just, I'm a very emotional person. You not getting no doves, Brooke, please. I was just saying, my goodness, honey, you guys are so silly. Brooke, you a whole fool today. Oh my gosh, I truly am something else today, honey. Oh my gosh. Let's move on, honey. Yeah, they know Brooke's gonna be outside. They're gonna be crying for 40 days and 40 nights. Dove soap got me crying, honey. Oh, you guys are so silly. If you have a good heart, your animal is clingy. Okay, that's good to know. All right, honey. Yeah, honey. Jesse said Jesse said cut it out. Jesse said, Brooke, stop. Like, you're not getting a pet. You're not getting doves. So please stop. Yeah, they are. They're such beautiful. They're so beautiful. The dove's gonna be hitting the streets with Brooke. Yes. The dove gonna have depression, honey. I'm not playing with Brooke today. All right, y'all. Let's get back on track. Why are we so silly today? You got doves outside in New York City, just white pigeons, honey. I'll get a dove painting, honey, and call it a day. Oh, hey, Mr. Be My Star. Thank you for the super chat. No cat slander. If you treat them right, then they can be just like puppies. Oh, well, that's good to know. Let's move along, honey. Let's move along. Oh my gosh. So anyhow, we have Drew singing the national anthem, and Drew sounds good. Mind you, we have everybody off to the side, and Kelly says hello to Portia. Portia's like, hi, Kelly, how are you? And you could tell Kelly was so happy to get that acknowledgement from Portia. Now, Kelly, don't you feel stupid? You did all that, talking all crazy in the last 2 episodes, to have to turn around and kiss the ring and say hello to Portia first. I know it must be painful. You did all that to have to end up kissing the ring in the end. So don't you feel dumb? Because if I'm talking crazy, I'm going to just have to eat it and not speak to her. Because you did all that talking, trying to throw shade and be nasty, almost got beat up, to have to turn back around and say, hi, Portia, how are you? Yes, honey, teeth gritting, honey. So now they all say how nice Drew sounds. And I have to say, I love that hair. This red hair on Drew is perfection. So Shamea said, honestly, I think Drew did a good job and I'm happy I stood up for it. Shamea, you just can't help yourself. You really can't. So mind you, we cut to K. Michelle in her car. She is sitting instead of coming out and joining everybody else. For K. Michelle to show up late and then still sit in her car for another 15 minutes was ridiculous to me. She calls up Phaedra and she's like, hey, are you at the event? Are you not here? Phaedra's like, wait, you're there? Hallelujah. So Phaedra says, actually, I'm not at the event. My youngest son had a horrible football accident. He has to go get his knee drained. Football is one sport that I would not allow my future kid to participate in. Any sport but football. I'm so happy that Aiden is okay, but like, and he's only 12. I was like, he was on crutches. I was like, oh my gosh, I just felt so bad. But yeah, honey, no, when I tell you, wait, hold on. I'm sorry, guys. My charger like came out of the thing. Wait, hold on. Wait, pause for like 2 seconds. Hold on. Okay, thank you guys. Yeah, football. Yes, you said football and rugby. Somebody said football and you said already injured. Yeah, basketball can be rough too. Football is dangerous. Yeah, no, she said it wasn't his ACL. She said it was wait, hold on. What did I write it down? She said it was something, it wasn't his ACL, it was something else. No football or boxing. Yes, no boxing. No boxing. Just a mess. Phaedra looked puffy-eyed too. Yeah, I'm sure. I was teary-eyed when I saw him come out with the crutches. I was like, oh my gosh, like I hope he's okay. Wrestling. You always hear about like oh my gosh. You said your dad played for Ashland College. That torn ACL ended that. Yes, it's MCL. Thank you. No boxing. Definitely no boxing. Just horrible. But I really hope that he's better. But that would have scared me. I was like, oh my gosh. So now K. Michelle says, I know of Rich Homie Kwan's family and what they're going through. Not for anything, I want to go to pay respect to Rich Homie Kwan. It's not even about Drew singing the national anthem. Well, girl, you missed her singing it anyway. The event's already started. She's already done. So you surely weren't there for that because you missed her performance. So mind you, we see K. Michelle now she's walking around and she's hugging Rich Homie Kwan's baby's mother and his mom. She's hugging all of his family members. So now she's introducing Rich Homie Kwan's baby's mother to the group. And now Drew walks up and she's like, oh my gosh, really? Like, oh, you showed up. She's surprised to see K. Michelle there. She knows how much K. Michelle can't stand her. So K. Michelle says, yes, really, how are you doing? So Drew says, thank you for showing up. And now they share a hug. So instead of K. Michelle just being gracious and normal, she's like, well, actually, I'm not even here. I'm here for the family. I'm not here for you, but I'm happy that we're here. All you had to say was, no problem, Drew. I'm happy I could make it. Why come to have a nasty attitude? That's my thing. If you don't like me, then just don't like me. But to not like me and then come to where I am to throw shade and be nasty, what are you mentally well? if you don't like me, that's fine, but you cannot be a weirdo and you cannot disrespect me. Like no, I'm not going for that. You don't get the right to mistreat me because you don't like me. If you don't like me, then just stay home and leave and just avoid me. If we're gonna be at the same event, then just don't say anything to me. I'd rather that than you not even having the maturity to say hello and hi and goodbye. There was no reason for you to say, "Oh, well, I'm not even here for you. I'm here for the family." Then, like, girl, why are you like? You just can't help yourself. It's giving jealousy. What? A lot of her fans on Twitter, they get so mad every time I say that, but I'm like, no, I'm not taking away from K. Michelle's talent, but you cannot deny that there is something off about the way she is treating Drew. You cannot deny that. It is giving a hater spirit. I don't know. I was really irritated by that. It was it really was so nasty and so rude. I was really irritated. So Drew says, you came to make a scene. It's always about K. Michelle because I have not done anything to this girl. So now we have Portia, Kelly, and Pinky leave the event. And now it's just Shamea, K. Michelle, and Drew. So Shamea says, well, let's go up the street. There's this restaurant called Blackjack and Bar. Let's get something to drink and eat. I'm hungry. So Drew's like, okay, cool. So now we get to the last scene of the episode, and it's Drew, K. Michelle, and Shamea at the restaurant grabbing a bite to eat. Drew is in good spirits, as she should be. She did a great job performing. And mind you, the whole time they're sitting down eating, K. Michelle is being so rude, so passive aggressive. She's like, eating her food, and she's making faces like this, looking at Drew like this. Like, it's like all this passive aggression for what? Girl, if you hate me that bad, then just don't be around me. I don't have time for this. I think what gets on my nerves is it's always the people who hate you for no reason. If you can't tell me why you hate me so bad, this might be petty. This might be considered, I don't care what, delusional, whatever you want to call it. If you don't have a reason for liking me, if you can give me a valid reason if you can give me a valid reason for disliking me, I put it in my file as it's jealousy. I'm so sorry. Say what you want. I know people say, no, that's not true. Some folks just don't like you. I'm so sorry, but if I have not done anything to you, I'm a genuinely pleasant person. I'm friendly to everybody. I'm so sorry, but in my experience, everybody who does not like me for no valid reason, it's always jealousy. I know there are trolls and haters who are seething at this comment right now. They're like, girl, I just don't like you because of this or that or that. They're coming with something in their head about why they don't like me. But I'm so sorry. If you don't have a valid reason, especially if you don't have my number, we never hung out. If you just don't like me because you don't like me, it's giving jealousy. I'm so sorry. It's giving jealousy. Yeah, honey, no, we can talk. Wait, what happened? Is everything okay? Somebody said, is there fighting in the chat, y'all? What's going on, y'all? Everything okay? Are we good? All right. Okay, so we see, yeah, it is loud. It is loud. Okay, so we see each other. Yes. Is okay, y'all. We see each other. We see each other, honey. We see each other. It's definitely just I always have a reason if I don't like somebody. Yes, that's how I feel. Like if somebody were rude to me, like I've never been the person who's like, oh, I just don't like them. No, there's a valid reason. They're rude. They cheated my family. They tried to harm me. Lied on me, stole from me. Like I have valid reasons for not liking somebody. You will never hear out of my mouth, oh, I just don't like her because I just don't like something about her rubbed me the wrong way. I've never said that. It's always all of the folks, either the folks online, the girls online who don't like me, in real life, who just don't like me because they just don't like me. It's always been jealousy. And they can say whatever they want about it. It's all because you don't know me you don't know me to have a problem with me. But let's move on. Let's just move on. Let's move on before we have folks coming in the chat trying to fight me down. Yes, yes, I just don't like her. Yes, that's always what it is. It's always that, always that, always. Honey, honey, tell the truth and shame the devil, honey. So let's just, yes, I always assume that people are racist, homophobic, or jealous. Yes. So now, jealousy or secret lover. Yes, very much that. Baby, that's a whole separate video in itself. They're lying to themselves and lying to you. Exactly, exactly. So now, hold on. Sorry, where was I? Drew says, I'm so happy that you decided to come. I know you said you were sick and weren't going to be there. So of course, K. Michelle is nasty, and she's like, well, I don't like going into places where I don't belong. So Drew says, wait, what? So Shamea says, yeah, you did tell her the other day she didn't belong in this group. Shamea pissed me off so bad. Shamea, you are firmly on K. Michelle's side. Shamea, you know good and damn well that Drew did not say that for no reason. K. Michelle came to her first. K. Michelle called her. K. Michelle said, girl, K. Michelle came for her career, said that she was a nobody. And that's when Drew clapped back and said, girl, you don't fit in this group with all your nonsense. Don't act like Drew just said that for no reason in a vacuum. She said it because K. Michelle got on her first for no reason. Why are we pretending we don't remember this? So now, Drew says, oh, that's what you're talking about? I don't understand segments of sentences. You know, whole sentences without punctuations and adjectives. So Kay's like, excuse me, I am Miss Florida A&M University. I got accepted into 3 law schools. I don't represent anything to you. Kay, maybe it's a good thing that you chose singing over a law career, because the way you ramble on, I don't think you'd make for a good lawyer. The way you can't even express your point as to why you can't stand Drew, you have failed to explain that. And as a lawyer, you have to be a good talker. So like, I'm confused. Like, you would not have been a good lawyer. You wouldn't have been a good lawyer, girl. They would have said, oh, no, girl, your client's going to jail. They're guilty. Honey, your clients would be in jail, honey, for life, because you can't even defend yourself and speak up and say out of your own mouth and be articulate and say why you don't like Drew. It's a whole bunch of hemming and hawing and nonsense. She is exhausting. The same law school from Emily and OC. Oh my gosh. She loses me every episode. Acceptance is not completion, okay? Automatic 25 to life, child. Okay, listen, honey, they'd be under the jail. That was her chance to tell Drew what her problem was. Exactly. She's afraid of Drew, locked up like Karen. Listen. So now, Drew says, so you're saying that I said something to you that you did not like. What did I say to you? Kay says, a lot of things, Drew. Drew says, well, you need to start speaking up for yourself. K. Michelle chuckles, and Kay says, I'm doing a really good job in controlling myself, and I've spoken up enough about it. Drew says, well, I haven't heard anything. Drew was eating. I like how Drew is able to remain unbothered and unrattled when the girls come for her. She was so calm and so even-keeled. I was here for it. So Shamea's like, how do you feel about her performance? Shamea's asking Drew how she feels about her performance. And she's like, oh, wait, Kay, you didn't see it. Let me show it to you. So K. Michelle says, nope, I'm good. I don't want to hear it or see it. I have to use the bathroom. I'm sure she did really good. She's done it 11 times. So hateful for no reason. So she says, I need to use the restroom. So Drew's like, girl, Drew was so irritated. Drew says, I'm going to keep doing it and doing it too. So now K. Michelle gets up and she grabs her purse, and Shamea says, no, Shamea says, let me hold your purse because I feel like you're not going to come back. So Drew's like, do I make her that uncomfortable? So now Shamea and Drew toast, and Shamea says, cheers to you. Cheers to that note that you hit. You did your big one. I thought Shamea was doing too much, imitating Drew singing. it was just like, I don't know, something about Shamea is coming off as so disingenuous and just so phony. Like, I don't, it just felt like there was a layer of shade underneath. And we all know, you know how women do. Women are pros at a backhanded compliment, trying to act like it was a real compliment. Women are pros at that passive aggressive nonsense. And I thought, I don't know, for some reason, when she was like, oh yeah, you know, that note that you hit when you were like, you know, land of the free, and she started imitating her, it just felt, it's very condescending. It was very condescending. Very condescending. Very fake. She is disingenuous. Shamea is fake. She hates her. She does. She really does. Shamea literally wants Drew's career. She wishes she was Drew at the moment. I agree. A sandwich compliment, honey. Yes. She's fake and a snake, Brooke. Exactly what it was. It was. Yes. No, yes. Same here. Same here. I'm a very direct girl. That's why I always let people know, don't think you're about to use some passive aggressive stuff on me in real life. In real life, I'm very direct. I don't play that. I will call out shade. I will call out an insult quickly. And unfortunately, a lot of women are stuck in passive aggressive behaviors, and we don't talk about that enough. A lot of women are very cowardly because it's a lot of and then when you call them out, girl, I didn't mean it like that. You took it the wrong way, trying to play in your face. A lot of women love to gaslight other women that they're threatened by. I'm not the one. I'm telling you right now, you will be sorely embarrassed. You're sorely if you think about to embarrass me and try to throw some slick shade to me, I will embarrass you so bad. I'm very direct. I'm very direct, honey. A lot of women have it bad with being passive aggressive and cowardly, and they feel threatened by another woman. They want to try to take her down a peg, and then when you call them out on it, now it's, I didn't mean it like that, girl. Like, girl, calm down. I'm not the one. I am not the one. I promise you. I promise you that you will be very. I will embarrass you quickly and swiftly. I don't play that. I do not play that. I'm telling you, honey. I promise you. Honey. Because there are some folks who will sit up there and try to be passive aggressive in the comment section. And then when I get them together, it's like, no, you read it the wrong way. I'm like, honey, you want to hide behind, I can't hear your tone. And you know, I can, listen, honey, I can sense passive aggression, whether online, in person. I will call you out swiftly. I am not the one. Play with somebody else. A lot of women will let you slide with it, but not me. I'm a very direct woman. I will call it out immediately, and I will embarrass you for real. You said we have a troll. Just get them out. Don't even give them any attention. Don't even give them any attention, honey. Just I'm gonna hit you where yeah, I am too. I'm gonna go low. I'm gonna go real low. So you better hope that you better hope you on point, because yeah, no, don't. Baby, I'm not the one. I am not the one. But if there's a troll in here, just kick him out. I'm not. Don't even don't give up. People want attention. It's an energy, it's an energy thing. It's an energy exchange. Folks want attention. So just block them and don't even bring, just block them, honey. Don't even yeah. Don't give starve people from attention. That goes for me too. So yeah, people, and it's an energy vampire. People want to harvest energy, and people want attention any way they can get it. Good attention, bad attention, it's still attention. Some folks don't get attention in real life, so they come here and troll. So yeah, don't even give them any attention, honey. Yeah, anyways, girl. Hey, feel good. Thank you for the super chat. I love that about you. I love it about you. Have made a new fan. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Phil. I appreciate that. Yeah, honey, folks. Yeah, I didn't even see it. I did not even see him. I don't even know who it was. So God bless and Godspeed. So anyhow, K Michelle's in the bathroom. Drew and Shamea are toasting. Shamea is being passive aggressive as always. And now we see K Michelle actually left. She gets in Shamea's car. Mind you, the car is parked right where they can see the car. It's right in front of the restaurant. So they see K Michelle get in the car. So K Michelle's waving to them from the car, and K Michelle is, she's doing this and being funny, making faces. So Drew's like, Miss, do too much. So Shamea's like, girl, not you leaving in my car. She says, girl, I have your purse. So Drew's like, now she left her Chanel. I rattled her that much. Kay, that's how I know that you're all talk. Because if you're really about that life, you would not let Drew rattle you this hard. That's how you know it's jealousy. Because when somebody's jealous of you, you rattle them. You could be eating a sandwich and they will still find a way to be rattled by you. This was the equivalent of, this is the pure example of just pure insanity. Because what do you mean you're leaving, driving off, and nothing's even happened? Drew simply asked you, what is your issue with me? What did I say to you? The floor is yours. The purse must have been empty and fake because ain't no way. Yeah, and also that's what, first of all, that was my thought. Now, listen, I know Shamea does not give me anybody's thief. Neither does Drew. Would I be worried about them stealing my purse? No, not at all. But just off of principle, I cannot go without my purse, right? My purse goes with me everywhere. I don't care who's around me. You're not leaving your purse. As a woman, you need to reapply your makeup. You got, you have things in your purse. You need your gum. You're going to leave your purse there? It was just so weird. It was embarrassing. It was really weird. Kay, this showed that you are very afraid of Drew. Drew has a lot of power, and you're letting Drew know that she has this much power over you for you to run off like that. That was crazy. Yeah, you never leave your purse. Exactly. Yeah, you need your keys in your wallet. Yes. Purse must have been from the gate. Yeah, honey, the purse was giving me a loose purse. That was giving me a loose Chanel. Okay, I know you have money. But it was giving me very much loose purse from Canal Street. That's what it was. Because I don't care who you're around, billionaires, multimillionaires, whoever. My purse is going to be with me. All right. That Chanel must have been loose. That wasn't Chanel. It was Banel. Not a Kelly purse. It was Channel. Not, you said Cuckoo Canal. It was Chanel, honey. Who leaves their purse? A mess. Purse thy art loose, honey. That was a flop of a moment. So now you said, who's still buying bags from Canal Street? Well, apparently Kelly with those loose bags, and one of my subscribers told the story of how her friend's boyfriend, now ex-boyfriend, bought her 100 loose bags for $100. He bought her all sorts of fake Chanels and had it in a burlap sack. And he's like, happy birthday, surprise. And he dumped them out on the floor in a garbage bag. All these. You should have never told me that story because I still laugh every time. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. Not $1 each. Not the fish market special, honey. Oh my God. Yes, honey. And Britt Edie's husband. Honey, a mess. A mess. The nerve. I hope she beat him. Like a Santa sack of crap. Yes. Oh my gosh. He got it right off the truck, honey. Fucci realness. Really? Why did he do that? Because he doesn't like her? Any man buying you a fake purse does not like you. Please. And she bought him a PS5 because we were talking about desperados buying things for men. And she bought him a PS5, and in return for her birthday, he bought her 100 fake purses. And then you said that you told your friend, like, I can't believe that your boyfriend did that, and your friend got mad at you. Just a mess. Just a hot mess. What a sin. Her first mistake was buying him anything. I agree. That's what I said. A mess, y'all. Isn't it terrible? You couldn't waterboard that out of me. Now, Brooke, I don't remember those details. Yeah, they said that they said that the friend bought him a PS5. Wait, you saying that I'm exaggerating the details? Don't do me. Don't do me. Honey, you know me. You know I love a good story, honey. You know I love a little sizzle, honey, a little salacious. Girl, you know I like to have some fun, honey. Zhuzh it up a bit. Now, I don't know if he gave the bags in a garbage bag, but he did buy her a whole bunch of fake purses after she bought him a PS5. I know that's correct. Oh, yes, yes, yes. They said that he put the fake bags in a Nike sneaker in a Nike box with the letters scratched off. One fake bag is bad enough. Brooke gives us a bit of spice with the details, honey. The details were accurate. Thank you. She had a little razzle dazzle. Brooke added some swan absent down. Brooke has an excellent memory too. Oh my gosh. Brooke gonna have 1,000 stories to tell soon. Add some spice to it, Brooke. Oh my gosh. No, one of my subscribers, one of y'all told me a few months ago that a friend of yours bought her boyfriend a PS5, and in return for her birthday, he bought her a sack of fake purses from Canal Street, and she was crying. A mess. I mean, I would sob too. That's actually really sad. What a mess, honey. You said Brooks putting 10 on 2. Don't do me. Don't do me, honey. Oh, Brooke is on her Giselle throwing a little hot sauce to the story, honey. Oh, you guys are so messed up. Your inner Giselle awakened. In a year, you're going to say he bought 1,000 bags. Y'all are so funny. I really appreciate y'all for indulging me in my foolery today. You guys are so silly. Hey, Rich the Fish, thank you for the super chat. Karen was wearing ND2. Ray knows Canal Street. Oh, honey, you guys are so funny. Oh my gosh, honey. You said I'm on my Giselle Bryant, honey. Oh, the use of the word sack adds much detail to the visual, honey. Oh, a sack of fake purses. Yeah, I guess next month I'll be saying he bought her 5,000 fake purses. You said it done went from 8 to 6 to 4. He put a ribbon on the Glade trash bag and said, "Happy birthday." You guys are so silly. Brooke pulled that out of the jean pockets. You guys are so funny. Brooke is what Yalla Fix My Life thinks she is. Oh my gosh. All right, y'all, let's move on. You guys are so silly. Oh my gosh. All right. She better not lick his sack after all that foolery. No, well, she's not. The subscriber came back the other day and said that she broke up with him. So that's good. But all right, y'all, let's move on. The devil wears panda. You guys are so funny. The next version, he came down the chimney with the sack. Y'all are not right. It gives us my third time asking. I'm screaming. You guys are so funny. It went from Louis to Vooey. Wasn't that Jim Jam story? No, wait. Samad, was that Samad's story? Was that Samad? Oh, that was Samad. Samad said that was his friend who, Samad's not here today. Wow. Well, Samad, when you watch the replay, shout out to you for telling us the story. I know I added some more details about your friend with the fake bags, but yeah, holler at us in the next live. But yeah, Samad did tell us. Yeah, Jim Jam. Yes, shout out to Jim Jam and Samad. Samad is here today. He was just here. Oh, I thought I saw Samad. Well, Samad, your story about your friend with the fake bags is the gift that keeps on giving. You added some more details, LOL. It was Samad because we also found out that he was Jim Jam with. Oh my gosh. All right, y'all. Samad's gonna be like, Brooke, now why you lying? All right, y'all, let's move on. Yeah, Samad was Jim Jam. But now Samad is back as Samad because I unblocked his original account. All right, y'all. Let's move on. The lore does go crazy here. The lore goes real crazy. All right, y'all. Okay, let's move on. Where were we? Shamea says. Drew says, I haven't said anything to this lady. If you're going to be a good friend to her, you need to hold her accountable. I never said anything to her. Shamea says, I'm holding you guys both accountable. Shamea says, you did keep saying her name with your dude. No, she did not, Shamea. Why are you lying? Drew says, girl, stop it. Drew says Shamesi's up to something because when did I say that? So now we see a flashback of when they were in Dallas. Drew asked all the ladies, did I ever say anything about K. Michelle and Black? They all say no. Everybody says no. Okay? And then Shamea's over there looking stupid. Drew says, at this point, I feel like Shamea is perpetuating an issue. If K. Michelle really felt this way, she could have come and talked to me. Drew says, you're speaking things that are false. Shamea says, that's the thing. You did that last year. Drew says, well, last year you were somebody's lapdog, and now you're being K. Michelle's lapdog. So Shamea's like, wow, I'm sitting here saying I see both sides, and now you just called me her lapdog? I think you're rude, and I don't want to talk to you anymore. So mind you, as they're going back and forth, K. Michelle's assistant comes out, I guess to grab her bag. And is it just me, or does K. Michelle's assistant seem like a deer in headlights? She always looks like she's like on edge sometimes. I mean, I can only imagine what it's like working for K. Michelle. So anyhow, Drew says, I'm letting you have the floor about how you feel. What do you feel, Shamea? Who is Shamea? We still don't know. So Shamea says, you know what, Drew? Thank you. Have a good day. Enjoy those chicken wings. And good luck with the next national anthem. So Drew says, I didn't even hear what you just said. I'm going to let it go. Drew says, when I realized that other women were not coming, to this dinner, I probably should have left. Yeah, I would have left. I would not have had dinner with just me, K. Michelle, and Shamea. I would have passed on that as well. So now we see Shamea go to the car with K. Michelle to get in the car. She said, can you drop me off? I said, well, Shamea, if it's your car, you shouldn't have to ask if she can drop you off. Get in the car, right? Like if I paid for that car, I'm not asking, can you drop me off in the car that I paid for? Scoot over, girl. Let me get in my car that I paid for. Okay? So now, before they drive off, K. Michelle has the national anthem blasting, and now they're singing it at the top of their lungs, and they are mocking Drew. Shamea starts singing loud with K. Michelle. They both looked and sounded so pathetic and so fake. I mean, pathetic. Drew is annoyed. We have Drew sitting there with her lemon drop, and she says, people be so fake. And that is the end of the episode. I feel bad for Drew because they really do treat her like she's a punching bag, and I don't know why. You can say what you want about Drew, but Miss Mamas has outlasted all of her ops. She is still on the show. Kay and Shamea, you better hope that you are asked back for next season. Imagine trying to mock her when she's accomplished in her own right. I don't know why. It just felt so evil to me. I don't know why. I think maybe it's the fact that K. Michelle has no reason to dislike her. It sort of gave me the same vibes from season 7 of Potomac. And I know y'all hate when I bring up Potomac, but I have to. It gave me the same chill, like when Mia was assaulting Wendy and Robin and Giselle were laughing at her. Robin was filming her while she was getting assaulted. It gave me that same exact vibe. I don't know why. Something about that felt so evil to me. Them mocking her and driving off. Like, it was just so evil. It was, I don't know. It was like, it was definitely a sin. Yeah, she looks so hurt. Drew looks, when they showed her sipping her drink, she did look hurt. They were being bullies. It was very much bully behavior. She's not my favorite. I don't get the vitriol at all. It was evil. They wanted to bring her down. Yes. Drew looked annoyed, not sad. This is worse than Giselle. You said they were both jealous of Drew. It's giving mean girl vibes. It was disgusting. It's so childish and immature. I agree. I hope they read Shamea down for her complete immaturity this season. Her jokes are so high school. I agree. It was so childish and mean girl. They wanted to get under her skin. I agree. Yes, it did. It did hurt her feelings. It did. Potomac is Richard and Brooke is Dorinda. Can't stop talking about it. Oh, excuse me. Well, hey, I'll be Dorinda then. Oh my gosh. Wow. My God today, honey. Yes, it's the energy when people come together to attack you. I agree. Hey, Tammy up north. Thank you for the super chat. Brooke is like a stand-up comic. I love the ones who feed off their audience. Yes. I mean, there's just so much energy in the chat. It's a lot of fun. Thank you. They want to be above her so bad, but are literally on the same platform as her. I agree. Yes, Drew really wants to get to the bottom of it. You can tell she doesn't want to have an issue with K. Michelle. Oh, exactly. She really does not want to have any issue with her. Shamea is going to be sobbing at the reunion. I agree. Living up to her nickname, Shamina. Yeah. You said, not Dorinda. My God, don't do my girl Brooke like that now, okay? You said Shamea is still at odds with Drew because Portia was at odds with her. Now that Portia and Drew are cool, Shamea looks crazy. I agree. Why didn't K. Michelle do it at the table if she was so bad? I agree. Drew should make a country album to get back at K. Michelle. Ooh, that would be, she should do that. We'll see who laughs last. You said, am I a mean girl? I did not see it as bullying. Giselle is still worse in my opinion. Spare us the YouTube apology. Drew defended Shamea and said nice things about Kay on Watch Up His Live last night. Thank you. So Brooke's stand-up comedy is natural. Shamea's stand-up comedy is forced. Tap dancing for a laugh from the audience. Now, Drew was corny, and Shamea has topped that cringe and corniness. The same one who begged Andy to put her on Atlanta. Yeah, she did beg Andy. Shameen girl. Shamesi is a loser. Drew did nothing to them. I agree. Oh, y'all. That was a good episode. I will say Atlanta really is eating. Yes, thank you. And what a great point. The fact that Drew was by herself, Drew had to face off against two of her ops, and they both ran off. That shows you the power that Drew has. K. Michelle was able to talk to Drew one-on-one with backup right there, and she still flopped. Hey, M Love Black, thank you for the super chat. Hey, Brooke in chat, annoyed because I didn't get any notifications about this live, watching the playback now. Oh, you're going to have a good time watching the playback because we really cut up today. We cut up. Hey, Jacob, thank you for the super chat. Shamea said in an interview with the Neighborhood Talk, Shamea will sue Angela for what she said about her marriage. Angela's going to expose the truth now. Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, I was thinking it. I didn't want to say it, but I would not be surprised if Angela gets sued, because I'm sure Gerald already had insecurities about being married to a much younger woman. And I'm sure he's heard, I'm sure that there is some of that paranoia about, is she only with me for the money? Is she physically attracted to me? Does she really love me? And now hearing, she's effing, basketball players and Falcons players. I'm sure there is, he's insecure about her being in the movies with other men and having love interests. Yeah, this is a case where you do have to sue, because this could destroy her marriage. If Shamea sues her, that's her ticket to getting fired because it breaches her contract. Yeah, I agree. She probably is. If Angela has a receipt, she needs to show it. I love Angela, but that was an awful and low accusation. I didn't like it one bit. So there must be some truth to it, because she even sued her cast members. So true, clock it. I know that it like one of y'all just said, there is a clause in their contract where you can get fired if you do take legal action against a cast member. Like Bravo knows that these shows do get down and dirty, and they don't like when cast members try to sue each other. So I do believe that if Shamea does go through with this lawsuit against Angela, she will be off the show. Because think about it, Alexis Bellino was off the show for many years on OC because Jim Bellino was suing Tamara and Shannon at the same time. And that was a big reason why Alexis was off the show, because of that lawsuit against cast members. So yeah, Shamea, if you do sue, I mean, you're well within your right to sue, but just know if you do sue, you forfeit being on the show. Like, that's an automatic termination. You will be fired. So just saying. Hey, Sir Natty M, thank you for the super chat. Shakrin, Shaluser, damn. Shakornball, Shatasi. I'm screaming. You can sue. You sue yourself off the show. I would love to see that discovery. Shamea was going to get the boot anyway. She doesn't need it. Shamea started and now she wants to sue because she can't take the. That's true. That's true. Maybe that's why Kandi didn't sue after season 9. Very true. You said Shamea knows that there's a receipt. Didn't know. Yeah, he's 64 to her 44. He is 20 years older. If that's what gets Shamea off the show, good riddance. Well, you said talk about 2 birds with 1 stone. Let the lawsuit commence. She'll do anything for fame, and that's scary. Didn't Shamea say that Charles was suing? Shamea, Godspeed, honey. Go ahead, Shamea, please sue. They've been accusing Shamea of cheating for years. Angela's not the first to say it. That's very true. Yep, Marlo said it. Oh, wait, when did Kenya say it? Her and Kenya were friends. Phaedra said it. Kandi alluded to it. They've been saying it since Shamea got on the show. But Shamea wasn't married to him then, though. Right? No, they were engaged when Phaedra said it. They were engaged. They were not married yet, if I'm not mistaken. When did Kenya say that she was cheating? A certain RHOP ex-husband sued her fellow cast member. Didn't Shamea say that Charles was cheating? Yeah, she did say that. Yep, she was saying they could have ruined her engagement. There's too much smoke for there not to be a fire. She was not married. Kenya was said it during season 8. They weren't friends until season 9. Season 9 when she was engaged. That accusation has fossilized. They were still engaged at the time. You said, unpopular opinion, Shamea is our new villain. I can't stand her, but I've learned to appreciate the villains. I don't want her to go just yet, but her friend Kelly, she can kick rocks. If it's that egregious, heinous, slanderous, you're right, and inaccurate, then I think one would sue regardless of remaining on the show. Hey, Jeremy D, thank you for the super chat. Let's be real. He's 65 with a young 44-year-old woman. That's sugar daddy marriage. Why are we acting like it's love? It's cash and comfort and maybe love. When Kenya kicked her off the boat. These girls play a dirty game. Kenya and Shamea weren't always friends. I remember when Shamea drank her Kenya Moore hair care. She was like, oh, there's nothing in this bottle but water. Her stuff doesn't work. I remember that. I remember they were beefing then. She's not interested. Yeah, I can't put Shamea in the villain category. Yeah, she's not interesting. The charisma and the charm isn't there. There has to be a certain charm for a villain. Like Erica Jane on Beverly Hills, there's a charm there. Giselle, who else? Tamra. There's a charisma and a charm with the villains on these shows. And Shamea doesn't have that charm or charisma. Yes, she's too immature to be a villain. Yes, Kenya, when Kenya was in her villain, yeah, Kenya's always had a charm about her despite her villain ways. Very true. The girls want to be Giselle's friend. That's why she's a good villain. Nobody likes Shamea. Yes, she's not polarizing enough to be a villain. Very true, very true, very true. Shamea's passive aggressive and just creates chaos. She plays a victim too much. I agree. Britt tore Shamea up last season about her alleged cheating. She did. Yes, Lisa Rinna. She's not a villain. She's just annoying. I agree. She's just a fool. Yes. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. They want Drew to be a villain, but she keeps getting vindicated left and right. I agree. Yes, she doesn't embrace the villain role. Exactly. Yes, Phaedra. She's a try-hard. It's not working. She is corny and sickening and very fake. Yes, a good villain owns it. Shamea still plays like she's innocent. I agree. I think Shamea stops with the cringy, corny act. She could have charm. She is not Dorinda, nor Giselle. At best, is a bad version of Candace, minus her lethal reads in class. Even Portia is hard to dislike her. She wants to be a victim at the same time. Shamea has no impact. Yes. Her presence does not change or add anything to hold the villain role. I agree with that. I agree. Wait, hold on. You said, hey, Tiggy's TC, thank you for the super chat. That last scene has proved that Drew's point. K. Michelle does not fit in with the Housewives. How can you either run or cry when being confronted? I agree with that. She does not fit in. Hey, Biomiss, thank you for the super chat. Kay looks more foolish even more foolish because Drew's saying during the memorial of Kay's friends, family. Yes, if I were them, I would look at her with the side eye. Yes, I agree. Like, if you claim to love Rich Homie Quan so much, that was like your family. You were close to him and his family. You should be happy that Drew honored him and his family in a great way. That should add some points in your book when it comes to Drew. But for you to sit up there and bash her, you're low-key bashing the family, because it's like they chose to have Drew sing and you're mocking her, which in turn is mocking them. She does look foolish, and great point. I agree. The best villains own the role and don't care about the fallout. Shamea is certainly not there. She's not there. Angela's leaning into it a little bit, maybe after a few more seasons. Shamea's going to cry watching this. Yes, the Jersey. Yes, Teresa. Teresa is a very charming villain. Yeah, like Margaret. Like, when we're talking about charm and they lean into being a villain, Jersey has it down pat. Like, yeah, like when we're talking villains, Shamea's not cracking top 20 villains on Housewives. Shamea's ranking dead last. Like, if we're talking top 10 villains on Housewives, Shamea's not even cracking top 50. No shade. Shamea is not a villain at all. She's not iconic enough to be a villain. Yeah, there were Nene was definitely the villain before she left the show, for sure. Nene's attitude was, I am just here for the check. She was in a pissy mood the whole time. The season where they went to Japan on the cast trip and that reunion, she was so over it. I mean, she was pissed at everybody on that other couch. She was mad at Cynthia, mad at Portia, mad at Eva. Yeah, Nene has had her villain moments. She was too corny to be a villain. Nene was a villain season 11. She was nasty. Yes. That was the season with Shamari when they went to Japan. Bethany Frankel, not able to be rated. Doesn't even make the list, a non-factor. I agree. Yeah, honey, that season 11 reunion, oh my gosh, Nene was just, oh. Just because you're unlikable doesn't mean you're a villain. Shamea's just lame. I agree. When Greg was sick, when she closed the laptop. Yes. So Rhode Island will probably be Rhode Island will be tomorrow. Not doing it today, okay? Rhode Island tomorrow, y'all. I have so many thoughts. A very good episode. Rula, I'm so tired of Rula. I am so sick and tired of Miss Rula and Kelsey. Oh my gosh! But we're gonna talk about Rhode Island. But yeah, guys, it's a beautiful day outside. The Knicks, babe, are in the finals, honey. It's game 3 tonight. I hope y'all are outside. Girls, y'all better be outside tonight. The game starts at 8:30. Get to the bar by like 6:37, okay? Y'all need to be outside. All right? Be outside. Be outside. You said how quickly people forget, but they've been calling Shamea a lapdog since her first season as Portia's friend. Girl, can you make time? I can't make time for Rhode Island today. I cannot make time for. You said I sent a DM via Instagram on T with Anna Marie, aka Esophagus in Nigeria. She was loving with another man. I mean, we just don't care enough about Anna Marie. Thank you for sending the DM, but I mean, we just don't care about her. Okay? But yeah, guys, y'all better be going outside. All right? Go outside, honey. I will see you all tomorrow for Rhode Island. That'll be later in the afternoon. But I had a good time with y'all. I hope you guys had a good time with me. Yes, and the World Cup starts. The World Cup starts this week as well. Y'all need to be outside. Y'all need to be outside. Be out. Listen, honey, done up. Be outside. Go outside. All right? All right, y'all. But have fun. I will see you all later. And we will talk for Rhode Island because I got some thoughts about that. But enjoy your day, y'all. Have a great time. Bye, y'all. Thank you guys for joining me today. Yes, it is, honey. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes. And yes, honey, be cute and be outside. Yes. See y'all tomorrow, y'all. Bye, guys.